No, you don't.
What's up, good? What's good, everybody? We want to welcome you to another episode of At My Mama's House. It's your host, your boy Rockstar. And as usual, I come to you humbly out of respect for life and life itself. We got a few guests on the panel. Some are new to our channel. So we want to show some grace and show we got Southern hospitality. We want to give a shout out to Miss Ty. What's good, Ty? Talk to us.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Excited. First female on the panel. I'm a little scared, but I'm also excited. You know?
Well, that's awesome.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's what it is.
Already. So let me make this statement off top. I heard some of you niggas. Let me tell you something. Ty don't part none of you niggas. She don't part none of you motherfuckers. So be you niggas talking that shit. She gonna.
Hey, look. I don't give a damn who in the building. Yogi gonna talk their talk, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't talking about you, Yogi. Y'all know who the hell I'm talking about. He said
talking
it.
about me.
Yeah, we already know where this going. We already know where this going.
I'm here, man. You listen.
Here we go.
Look, the guilty speak up.
Already.
Hey, no, I'm the only one. Listen, I am the disruptor. I understand the position. So when you say that, I'll be like, I know who you're talking to. I got you. Not that it's gonna work, but I got you. You understand what I'm saying?
Long as you know, my boy.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. Hey, man, listen.
Y'all silly. Man, how y'all feeling, man? How y'all been this week, man?
Man, everything copacetic, man. Slow boogie, baby.
Yeah, just staying steady, man. Getting ready for the summer.
Hey, man.
It's hot. It's hot like a motherfucker out here. I tell you that, goddamn.
I feel that.
It's not.
Hey, is y'all service working good or is it just me?
Yeah, I think we having a little problem with some of the hearing.
Yeah,
Miss Ty cutting in and out when she be talking.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes you go low and up. You got to get, I don't know.
It's probably my AirPods.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Okay, can you hear me better?
Yeah, we can hear now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ty, what city you out of?
So I'm originally from Chicago, but I just recently moved to Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Indiana,
Midwest
okay.
and Midwest. What's up?
They balling out
Hey,
there,
the
too.
Midwest got some pretty girls.
Oh, well, thank you. I think so too. You know,
I
Y'all
agree.
do.
I agree.
But you know what? I lived in Chicago twice, right? And I did a lot of shows out there. You know what they used to tell me?
What?
They used to tell me Midwest men ugly.
I don't know about that. I can't say yes or no to that. Everybody else
you in the
from
now,
the South? Y'all all from the South?
I can pretty much.
Most
On this panel.
Yeah.
On this panel, we be having people from everywhere, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you rate Southern men?
You know what? To be honest, I've never dated a Southern man. I've only
From the
heard,
outside looking in.
from the outside looking in, I've only heard good things about Southern men. So, yeah, I would rate y'all high.
That's
I hear you open doors and
That's good.
gentlemen.
Yeah, Southern hospitality at its finest. You hear me?
And to play devil's advocate, Ty, some of us ain't shit.
Okay.
And some of us ain't shit, and you make us ain't shit.
Some
you
of
know,
us
that's
ain't
across
shit.
the board. That's across the board. So
That's across the board, exactly, Ty.
I
It goes
had to
all
play
over.
devil's advocate. I had to play devil's advocate.
Understandable.
Yeah. Fellas, what's up, man? Hey, Yogi, what's up, man? Talk to me.
Hey man, keep calm, fuck with a fat boy, baby. I'm here. Let's get it. Let's get it.
What trust?
Yeah, I think he coming in
He
later.
had a
Right?
graduation. He coming.
Yeah,
You
he has some
coming? Okay.
obligations.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got a brainiac on his hand.
Oh yeah, man. Nisa, she a little genius, man.
Ain't nothing
That's
wrong
what's
with
up.
that. We need more of them.
Nah,
Yeah.
for real.
Rich, what's up, baby? How you been, man? Talk to me.
Hey man, live between the sky and the earth, trying to touch a little dirt, man. That's all I'm doing. That's it. That's all.
I feel that. Quality. Tell us something, man. What's going on? Tell us something. Ain't nothing fun happened this week, motherfuckers.
Man, I'm loving life and hoping life loving me, man. That's how we doing it.
I want to ask you this, Rob. What you think about Eminem getting that award over them boys, man?
He ready to get right into it.
No,
He's
not
ready
that. I'm
to go
just saying
already.
that's what happened. I'm just asking him how he feel about that.
About what?
Eminem winning the American Music Award over Kendrick and Drake and Future. I'm just
I'm
curious.
not shocked. It's their award.
I see. I'm proud of you, Rob. That motherland trip doing a lot for you, my brother. I like that.
He already
Yeah,
started.
all
It's
that,
their
all that
award,
shit
man.
scripted. All that shit scripted, bro.
I
All
like
of
that.
it.
I like that.
It's gotta be.
I mean, it depends on what you. Let me ask you this: what do you mean when you say scripted?
Because man, like it don't matter who come out and do what kind of numbers. Like man, let's be real, man. Kendrick probably had one of the biggest years when him and that Drake beat got to this little limit here recently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This man won 5 Grammys off one song, G.
Off
So-
one song, not a full
so-
album though.
Yeah, not a
That's
full
what-
album, one song. We're right.
But listen though, the GNX, that shit was hot. I don't know the numbers per se on that situation, but GNX was hot too. How he dropped it, it was a surprise. You know what I'm
Did
saying?
he freeze
But-
down?
But it was more of a performance album. It was more a performance album. Like
I don't know. I don't
DNX.
listen to Kendrick. I'm a Southern nigga. I listen to a lot of HUC and shit. You know what I'm saying? But
So hold on. Let me add context to it. So I just want to get an understanding of it so I can know what you mean as far as clarity, right? So
yeah.
with that being said, let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
You don't think that the hoopla and the push with Kendrick is a part of the script?
Huh. Huh.
Just being honest, I'm asking.
Hey, keep it a bean with you, man. All that shit scripted.
All right, I just wanted to see where your mind was.
Yeah, all of it is, bro.
Okay.
All that shit part of
they
the
gonna,
script.
bro, they gonna put motherfuckers on the pedestal that they want on the pedestal, bro.
On the
So
pedal.
it don't matter who you is, no race, creed, color. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this your town. We finna push you to the limit. You know what I'm saying? It's all that
Yeah.
shit scripted, bro. All that shit scripted.
You know, La Rock, I think you should know about that, Wiley, more so than anyone.
Yeah.
Considering your background.
Yeah, man, it's definitely
Yeah, it's politics.
yeah, it's a lot of politics,
Yes.
and I tell people this all the time, man. I've been in those meetings, man. I was out several times, and I've been in those meetings where these cats talking record deal money. I've sat in Virgin office in LA. You know what I'm saying? I've sat in offices in Chicago, when Chief was trying to work me a deal, and yeah, man, it's a lot of souls being bought, man.
Exactly.
And when I say that, I mean that intentionally and unintentionally, because you got to remember, a lot of us, we come in it young, and when you don't know, you don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Not everybody is just willingly selling their soul or selling themselves or selling out for it. Sometimes they just don't know that they're doing it. And by the time they realize that shit, they already been bought. You know what I'm
So
saying?
can I say something on that though?
Yeah.
So I got a little brother, man. Man, he in Nashville right now. He do country music. You know what I'm saying? And like the rooms that he be in and trying to work what he trying to do out. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same conversations as it is that we hear from like rare like black artists in them rooms, right? So like when you come to talk about selling souls and all that other shit, it's only the black entertainers. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear too much hear it from like country music or other genres. You feel
Well,
me?
here's why. The reason why is because when it comes to non-black artists, they have better representation.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When those young non-black artists come into the game, even if they get fucked, they have representation that's good enough to say, hey, look, this is a better deal. Take this deal. And even if the deal isn't the best deal, they representation teaches them to hold themselves accountable and accept and honor that deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different landscape. It's a different psychology when it comes to it, right? So let's say a white country artist signed a record deal. He usually going to have some type of representation, whether it's his mom, his dad, his family, friends. You know, they tend to have more successful people in their realm or their proximity where they can fare better at the contracts and stuff like that. So even if the deal is not like they necessarily want it, in other words, let me say this: 9 times out of 10, mostly white artists, when you hear them complaining, it's because they want a better deal.
Yes.
Not that they had a bad deal.
They want a better deal.
Yeah, so it's a combination of both. I have to give accountability to both sides because, you know, at the end of the day, we tend to want things for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes that could be our devil, that could go against us too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know what I'm saying?
So can I ask you a question like going into that? So when it comes like to like black artists, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they background, because they grew up in these environments, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you can sway them into some bullshit is, you know, money, right? So would you say that's a big reason why black people are swung into them kind of situations?
And you prove my point. That's a part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's a part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about this, right? So if you notice the money spread, right? And getting to a point to where now rap videos, they always got to have their money out. You don't find it ironic the timing of that? You didn't start seeing niggas throwing money out as far as like the way they do, and the money spread until money wasn't worth shit no more. The American dollar ain't worth shit no more.
Ain't worth nothing.
It ain't worth nothing. Credit is more valuable than money. Credit can buy you shit that money can't buy.
The shit show.
So
credit can give you something that you ain't even got to have money for.
You ain't got to have money for.
You ain't got to have money for it.
It just goes to show you just how behind we can be on the curve. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but we started off behind, so.
Say it again.
We started off behind the curve.
Exactly.
It's like comparing apples to oranges, right? Like when you're talking about other cultures, even when it comes to the music industry or any industry at all, they usually have some form of nepotism there, right? Like, so they already have family, they already have history, they have the knowledge, the research.
And that's my point.
We usually do not have any of those things, and that's just how the system is built, right? But it comes down to us educating ourselves now and understanding the difference in things. And that's the biggest problem when it comes to our younger people, especially when they go to the music industry, because we have so much access to information that people can be educating them. But instead of doing that, they would rather, you know, take advantage of their ignorance and use them out until they can't use them anymore. And we allow them to do so that we can get, like Rick was saying, money, you know? I'm sorry.
No, you're good, and you're exactly right. So my point to that, and to add to that, is this: what makes it a problem now, where we have to hold ourselves accountable as far as our culture, is that we know better now. The Master P's, the Suge Knights, the Irv Gottis, you know what I mean, the Jay Princes, the Ice Cubes. I mean, the Master P's. I mean, I can go on and on and on. The T.I.s. We showed them that, hey, we cracked the code, but yet and still they still want to. I want to be signed. I want to be signed. So it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing, but nevertheless, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got some niggas out here starving,
they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they gonna take whatever. They gonna be like,
money is the ruler of all evil. We all know it.
You say what?
Money is the ruler of all evil.
Well, I don't agree with that, but you know.
Shit.
No.
Especially in our culture.
Money ain't the root of all evil. People with the money are the root behind all evil.
Ignorance is the root of all evil.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. If you lay some money down, that money can't harm nobody. But you put it in the hands of the wrong person, that money can kill millions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, remember, money is only as valuable as the person that values it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't be bought. And so you got to think about this, right? So I was with Rap a lot, right? And so, and I can say to a fair advantage, I had family members. I have my aunt Cookie, rest her soul. She was in the meetings with the dealings with my auntie. She was a teacher. She brought when my grandmother died, I ended up staying with her, and she was there. My dad came to a couple of the meetings. So even though they wasn't lawyers, people respect and they give a certain amount of grace, and they're really careful of how they use their tactics or how they come at you when they see you have people that value and care about your well-being.
Yep.
So the deal I signed for me was a good deal. But check this out. One of the differences between me and some of those other artists, and I can safely say I had a father in my life, is, you know what my father taught me? The men in my life taught me, you honor what you accept. You honor what you agree to. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't like it, you got to be a man about this shit. You stand, you okay that shit, nigga, man up.
Yeah, stand on all 10, brother.
Stand on your shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so, but you got these old single mama ass and over emotional ass niggas, they feelings change. Like the damn temperature. Oh, I don't like this deal. Nigga, you signed. Accept the deal, honor the deal, and then you make a better decision once that deal over. That's called mature man shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, but you know, when you got all these sissies in the game swaying they straight men and shit, that's what you get.
There we go. Now you talking about this and different. Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't lying. This generation got some of the most gayish heterosexual males I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's now we live in a society where it's okay.
Yeah.
It's always been a thing, but now they can live freely. So
to me, straight men that act sassy, them the trans. I call them trans men. Them the real trans men. For real. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we finna go into the icebreaker, y'all. Give me just a second. Let me know when y'all can see it.
We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Just in, boy. Gynecologist, mole fly, mosquitoes have off of goddamn been really we're in the us.
You know what's so funny is I saw that early.
Hold on.
What the fuck? I don't even know what he said.
I mean, the shit ain't funny.
But that shit is
funny.
Oh my God.
My boy
couldn't
My boy couldn't read. Boy, you can hide everything from him. Goddamn.
Hey, man.
That's funny.
That's sad.
Say, bro. What the fuck? Hey, he basically proved just how that the average reading level for African Americans is 4th grade.
No, he didn't.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna base.
We gonna do that.
African American reading level on that man. Because
Hey,
my
no
child
child behind.
is not even in 4th grade, and she could read every word on there.
Ty, your screen freezing.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's freezing. You doing it?
You find out she got that African internet.
Am I back?
Not yet. It's still you still
Oh
right
my
there.
God. I'm on my phone.
You want to come out and come back in?
Yeah, I'm gonna come out and come back in.
Okay, then we got you. We'll be waiting on you.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Hey yo, big dog. I just want to let you know the word is released.
What happened?
I just want to let big dog know the word is released.
He said off a letter, official. I'm like official.
Bless his heart.
I'm more amazed that y'all was able to get that. I got stopped at the first goddamn sentence. I didn't know where the fuck we were going.
Hey,
We just lost all in that sauce.
I saw a video. I saw a video of a young girl that looked like she's like Colombian or something. She passed with honors and she can't read.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that. But she chat GBT, and then that's the fault. That's the education system fault on that.
Yeah.
She passed that shit. That's insane.
Told her to draw pictures in the corner like butterflies and stuff to pass.
Yeah.
Man, we used to be sweating bullets when we was kids to pass. I mean, you had to pass the play.
Everything.
Everything was my mom.
The teachers was hands on.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And we was motivated. Motherfucker, that's what motivated us to pass our class. I want to play on Friday.
Hey,
we was still talking shit to the teachers though at the time.
I think we knew when though. We knew when to talk shit and then knew when to get in class mode.
Yeah.
We knew when.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny, look, when I was in school playing football during football season, I was a model student. I was in front of the class, paying attention. But when football season was over, boy, we
relax in the back. I already know. I gave him hell, boy.
I done done my part, huh? It's over with.
Yeah, it's a wrap. I'm still passing, but I'm on your ass. Don't come in there sideways because I'm there. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But I think that note that don't leave no child behind type of thing is fucking us up.
Nah. Yeah.
A lot of people getting swept under the rug in the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't think that's
But I'm now I'm gonna say this, King. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You don't think it started home?
That boy, there you go. You took the words out of my mouth. Boy, we've been agreeing lately, boy.
I noticed. I noticed.
That trip to Africa done some for him. I'm telling you.
That trip did him some good, huh?
What?
Nope.
He touched that
That ain't
mother.
got shit to do. Hey, I'm gonna tell you why I know that ain't why. Because the show just started, nigga. We ain't even got nowhere yet.
But that's what I'm saying. Let's take out the grace right now that we're good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we good right now. But you know, I gotta keep one cocked and ready for your black ass.
For his ass, huh? You gotta get him
ready. You don't know when that nigga gonna put bust out with some bullshit.
No, listen. No, I'm not going to say that.
There she go.
There we go, Ty.
Damn, we lost one. Hey, we lost one. Gained up back, huh?
Oh, that's better.
And we can see you now, Ty. You working now.
Good.
Yeah. You're in the building.
Hey, say, we finna get some ratings now. Ty done popped up.
Ty in here. Boy, we done turned this thing up. You watch
goddamn time.
And then Ty, she a feminine woman.
Yeah.
So we finna get this. Probably gonna get a bunch of views for sure.
Yeah, buddy. We on top. Hey, Ty.
I'm thanking you ahead of time.
We thank you. We thank you, Ty. Thank you
very much.
I really thank you, Ty.
Thank you. Now I'm giving you your flowers.
I thank you.
I'm gonna
but I ain't scared of your ass.
I ain't scared of your ass.
I'm ready for you.
You know what? I'm so glad you got on here because I was tired of being the
Look, don't mistake it. I ain't scared of your ass.
I ain't scared of your ass.
Richie was tired of being the prettiest.
I'm ready for you.
I was tired of being the prettiest on the show.
We might agree on everything. We might disagree on something, but if we disagree, I'm ready for your ass.
But I'm ready for you. That's all that matters.
All right, so This is a segment of the show where we give people their flowers. My goal is that if we're able to get on here every day and give people constructive criticism, I just feel like it's only right that we at least take the time out to give somebody their flowers and appreciate them for whatever it is they done accomplished in their life, whether it's personal, whether it's something they done did for other people, or whatnot. But definitely the goal is to provide some type of balance. I just decided that I didn't want to be a show where we just always just talk about people, even though it's constructive criticism, social commentary, but we gotta have room in here so we give people their flowers. So absolutely, let's start off by giving this person their flowers.
Oh yeah.
Hold on just a second. Wrong person.
You can do him every time. He good.
All right, so this is the new leader of the country in Africa called Burkina Faso. His name is
It's long been in a very complicated system. Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation, there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight or we remain slaves forever. I told you once, there are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other. Because every situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So you must advise each other and not pay attention to certain remarks. Our country has long been in a very complicated system.
All right, so that was some of a speech that he did before. I first want to say this. I have already given Ibrahim Traoré his flowers, Traoré, but this one is not just giving Ibrahim Traoré his flowers. This is basically me giving the Sahel states, which is the union, that consists of Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali. Togo has joined forces. Ghana is already talking to them. Several other countries, Senegal is joining, and that's not including there's another movement too that I think is the EWOS, not the ECOWAS. Those are where the puppets get together, and they basically come together and they shuck and jive for the West. So I just want to give a shout out to those countries, man. It's a big movement going on. Just in case y'all don't know, and also the people out there in YouTube land, over 32 African countries have either kicked the French out, kicked Britain out, kicked the West out, have denounced the French franc, the American dollar, the euro, and it's happening so fast. It's like a tidal wave. They're running out of access to resources because these countries are kicking them out and taking their country back, and they're bagging their own country by their own language, by their own resources, and by their own bootstraps. So much so that you got the people of Burkina Faso, they are so together in unison that majority of the nation in Burkina Faso, what they've done is that every night they developed their community got together and they take turns. And when I say take turns, I mean thousands of Burkina Fasoans are taking turns by the thousands. And what they are doing is they're camping in front of the leader state. And so their message to the world is that if you take out my leader, you're going to have to kill all of us. You drop a bomb, you're going to drop a bomb on thousands of innocent civilians, and we're willing to die for it. Bro, that shit is on some, that's guard body. you know. And what it made me think about is this. There's this saying, right? A lot of people, when it comes to like the YNs in America and stuff like that, the first thing that comes out of mouth is that, yeah, these niggas out there crashing out, they don't respect life. I tell people that's not true. It's not that. The problem is that they don't respect death. See, to respect life is to respect death. See, when people don't value death, then they're not going to value life. And if I'm going over some people's head, just take the time to process that, right? Because see, to accept life, to truly accept life is to truly accept death. But when you don't accept death, then you can't accept life. So you're not going to value life for nobody else's life because you don't even respect death. You see what I'm saying? And so for them, that's respecting death. To respect death means you're okay with dying. It means you rather die with dignity than to live without dignity. And that's what keeps a man from losing his soul. And I think that's important, you know what I mean? So let me ask you this, and I'm gonna start with Ty, ladies first. So Ty, I'm not sure how in depth you are in politics, but you'll definitely let us know. So let me ask you this, and this is just an honest question. Do you think that African Americans are respectfully in a position to be able to free ourselves of the economic oppression that exists, the injustice that exists, just overall, being that all we've been through? Do you respectfully think from a logical point, a logical state of view, that we can get out of this no matter how we fight it, whether it's economically, fisticuffs, or whatever? What's your thoughts on that?
So logically, I would say, yes, it is possible, right? The issue, though, with Black Americans is the mindset. We still have a crab in the barrel mindset where we don't think about the community. We think about how we can get out of a situation. And once we get out of that situation, we're not really looking to bring up everyone else, right? Because what we've learned in our communities is that everyone doesn't have the same mindset. You're sitting here asking me this question, in the way that I'm answering it, someone else would answer it totally different, right? Because they have a different perspective, a different background, different education. So logically, yes, we actually could. If we could all get on the same page and band together, just like the Africans are doing, and stand up against what society has decided is our norm, then we could get out of it. But realistically, no, we're just not there yet. It would take way more work, way more dedication. And to be honest, it also may actually take for us to get rid of some people, for us to actually make that a reality.
Good answer. So let me ask some expound on it. This is kind of a secondhand question. So do you think it's possible for any group of people to be able to overcome being the minority as far as from, you know, an economic standpoint, when we actually don't really have land to call our own anymore?
So yes, because we can get land, right? It's so many resources out there. Black people specifically touch so much money, right? So much credit. We're constantly buying things that hold no value. If we decided to take all of our money and put it towards just buying up land, we could buy up most of America, if we're being honest. Black people are some of the largest consumers out here. We just decided to boycott most companies, they would fall, right? Because we spend the most money, especially Black women, if we're really being honest. But instead of doing that, we don't buy land. So once again, you know, logically, yes. Yes, we could, because we can start buying land. Right now, I believe in Chicago, there is a woman who had over 120 properties that she owned that is bankrupt. And they have a list. All of this is public. information, that you can go in and buy these different lots and homes for a very low cost. But a lot of people, for one, don't know about this information. And then for two, they haven't decided to save up enough of their funds to actually even bid in the game. So we continuously lose out on opportunities where we can take over because our priorities are off. We care more about how we look than what we have.
Fair enough. That's a good answer. That's definitely a good answer. I personally think as much as I'm known to have a positive outlook, I do agree with you. I just think that the amount of unity that it would take for it to happen in an ample enough time, it's a daunting task. It's a daunting task, especially being that for the first time in our history, and I want y'all to think about this, for the first time in our history of being here as far as slavery, this is the first time we've actually digressed. We've progressed all the way. Even in the crack era, we became. Did y'all know that even in the crack era, the percentage of black business ownership went up 20%? Even the crack couldn't stop us.
I believe it.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, business ownership by blacks jumped 20% in the crack era. So even when they tried to kill us with crack, they couldn't stop.
We still prospered.
We still prospered.
Yes.
But for some reason, we digressed.
How? In what ways? And specifically, are you speaking about men versus women, or our entire community has digressed?
Our entire community as a whole.
Yes, community as a whole.
I got a whole equal blame to that. And the reason why I say that is because, well, you know what, that's a whole other conversation. That we could talk, y'all could guess all the reasons, but that we definitely, I hold blacks as a whole accountable for that. You know, and intentionally and unintentionally.
Okay.
In other words, for example, where our parents, well, I'm gonna say my generation, my parents failed us is that they raised us with the mindset like they wanted us to not know that racism existed. I don't think that was healthy because we had to fuck around and find out.
Nah, for real.
They didn't prepare us. But see, my parents, they prepare. Look at here, you a nigga, son. Now, don't your ass be driving them by after 9 sundown, okay? They'll cut your ass up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just was straight up with them. They didn't appease or try to protect them emotionally from the reality of what could happen.
Right.
Grandma gonna keep it a whole bean in the house.
Yeah, but because they didn't appease is the reason why your parents did appease, right? Because they were giving you something that they felt they needed. Yeah. It's just like with our generation, I think mine or the one right after was like the first generation where everybody got an award, whether you win or not, right? There are no winner or losers anymore. Exactly. And in the broader scheme of things, that's a problem. Because you will win or lose in life. There's always a winner or loser. So when you give somebody something just for being there, they always expect something just for coming. And that's not reality.
Gotcha.
You know, but I feel like it's the overcompensation.
Okay. I feel that. Gotcha. Okay, then. Well, guys, we don't want to sit on that too long. We're going to go and get into the topic. We got a lot of topics. But good info, Ty. I like your thought process on that. So we're going to start off with this one, y'all. Huh?
Absolutely. I agree. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's Travis Hunter. He's the popular college football player that broke a lot of records. He played alongside Shadur and Shiloh Sanders for Colorado State University, where the legendary NFL Hall of Famer, great cornerback, wide receiver, and rapper. Yeah, Dion's a rapper. Where he
What do you say,
coached.
Rock? What do you say, Rock? Must be the money.
Must be the money.
Yeah.
Basically, it's been a lot of drama and turmoil around his relationship with his girlfriend, who's now married. A lot of people warned him. From what sources say, of course, this is allegedly Dion told him. In fact, it said that his dad, who was allowed a legal temporary prison release to be at the wedding because he's still doing time. It's said that he even told him, I can't tell you what to do, but be careful. So basically, here's the thing. He didn't get her to sign a prenup. His contract is approximately a $46.5 million contract with $30.5 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's contract.
So I'm gonna start off. We're gonna go with Big Yo because he not taking nobody.
I'm on this crash dummy.
Yep. And that's why we're gonna start with your ass. So let me ask you this.
What you got for me?
If that was your little brother,
I'm gonna beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna beat him the fuck up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so hold on. You gave me that answer. Let me ask you another question. All right, so Big Yo,
what you got?
What's your thoughts about him marrying her?
Travis Hunter, boy, you dumb as hell.
Expound.
Boy, you dumb as all right, man. So we don't know the truth behind the relationship, right? But from the shit that we seen, and she not wifey material, bro. So when I seen so I found out that he married the girl, right? I seen a video after they got married. Then she like she pregnant, bro.
She pregnant? Yeah, she is pregnant.
Yeah, man. So you married her and you got her pregnant, bro. She is set for life. Now I don't know this for sure, but the videos that I seen like previously, when all this came to the light, bro, when he was outside at the party and she was in the party dancing on other dudes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like my first thought is like infidelity, right? So I don't know if this is true. Maybe y'all can help me like get some clarification when it comes to this. But like infidelity breaks a marriage. Like say for instance she get caught cheating, right? And they get a divorce because of it. That now knocks her out the box to get any compensation from him, right?
No.
They don't?
No, they put a prenup or some written documentation that states if someone cheats, then you will not be able to get any money. Since he did,
they don't have that.
It won't.
Let her cook, y'all. Let her cook.
Yeah. I want to know this.
It won't hold legally. Now he can try to get a post-nup, but at this point, I doubt he'll get it. He's lost the house, so he's just gonna have to deal with the hand that was dealt.
Exactly.
So basically, he's gonna have to do what Rock said in previous conversation. You're gonna have to stand on our 10 with this decision.
He gonna have to stand
on it.
So basically, if the marriage, all right, man, from his pictures though, to give some enlightenment to the situation, he looks genuinely happy. You know what I'm saying? He looked like Miss Silly from The Color Purple and all that cheesing and shit. You feel me? All right. Boom, you got that, right? But man, this got to be the silliest fucking decision bro can make, bro. That's just in my opinion. Now, once again, I don't know if everything that was said before was true. But if that shit was true, bro, come on, dog. Like, she must got some fire to make that boy act the way he acted, man. Because, man, look at her.
You know what? I don't think it's that. You know what I think it is?
Talk to me.
What I'm seeing in my viewpoint, and this is just, I'm a psychological minded dude, right? So I look for evidence, whether it's verbal, seen or unseen, or just in the actions, right? And so when I looked at all the videos, when I seen how he defended her and things like that, and then when I think about all the information that I done gathered about how him, and other people admitted how they end up getting together, how he ended up getting with her. What I see is, and I'm gonna attempt to say this nice as possible.
Don't say that shit. Say that shit.
Some people know when they ugly,
and that's what I was gonna say. He knows not that attractive, and in a regular life he would never pull her. Now he can get her, so he is just happy to be in her presence.
Exactly.
What she did, what she does, he's happy to have some type of eye candy on his arm. And to some men, that's all they want.
Yep. At any cost.
Come on, Rich.
But like she ain't even all that bad. Her opinion. Go, Rich.
But that's to you.
Right. To him.
For him.
He should kiss. Okay.
For him, that's a 10. That's a 9, 10.
That's a 12 to him.
Yeah.
And so it's a level of insecurity that's allowing him to deal with what he's dealing with.
Crazy work, man. Crazy
I'm
work.
hoping that he pulled something like kind of like what that soccer player did. I don't know who he did. I don't know who his mom is, or maybe he got everything signed in Deion Sanders' name. Maybe he. I'm just saying. Something.
Watch this, King. King. Watch this. I'm gonna tell you just how high chances he doing.
Yeah.
First of all, and this is respectfully, his mama ain't rich.
Mm-mm.
So, mama had her.
Yeah.
He got two women that he gotta financially spoil.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna break him.
Exactly.
They gonna break him. Because guess what? So here's my point. She might not give me this, give me that. Oh, mama want this. Mama need this. Right? Then you got his wife, who he's already in his mind, and rightfully so, he's obligated to give her what she wants. Right? And then we all know what she about. Man, here's the thing. The boy contract is $46.5 million. 30 million guaranteed. Okay, guess what? Hold on. That's before taxes. So he only got 15 mil. Hold on. After the 15 mil, he got the agent fees. That's another 3 mil. So now we down to 13. He just paid $600,000 on our car. He down to 12.2. He bought him a car. He had 10 mil already. He paid $100,000 for the wedding.
He waiting on the next contract. He already at the next contract. He trying to get to the next contract now. That shit gone. That shit is gone.
It's gone,
bro. Hold on, bro. Bring a light to this shit, though, bro. Let's not let me one of the biggest college students in the motherfucking game. So his NIL money.
Okay.
He still probably got the NIL money.
He got two shoe deals.
Okay, so so let me break it down. Okay, here's my point. Here's my point from a financial analyst point of view. Okay, so let me ask you this. So I'm gonna start with Rich. Rich.
Okay.
And this is preference, but it makes sense. How much money would you have to have for you to feel comfortable and keep it real? How much money would you have to have in the bank for you to feel comfortable spending $600 or spending $1 million on 2 vehicles? So you and your wife won. How much money to you would you have to have in the bank?
For me and my wife, I would leave at least $10 million if I do something crazy like that.
Okay.
Because I'm older. If I was younger, I would say 5. But at my age, I'm going to say I need 10.
Now, just in general, forget the age. If you his age, no matter the age. Money. Don't. If you're 30 or 50, money. The money on 10 million don't change.
It's the mindset. The mindset.
Can I say one thing though? That's what I'm gonna
say.
Go
ahead.
This is what I was looking at. With Travis, if you look at him, money is not his motivation. You understand?
No, we know that. We know that.
No, I'm getting this up. So he would give her that whole 30 million because she make him feel like that. Money ain't even what we worried about. He finna get took to the bank. He like, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna make some more. I can go run, I can go catch, I can fish, I can play video games. He ain't worried about money. He worried about her. And we worried about what she gonna do to him because hindsight is 20/20. We know how these relationships work out. But by him not knowing.
So let me respond to that. This goes back to what the hell Ty just said. So basically, what we can safely say is he's a hard-headed motherfucker. The NFL have things in place now. They have financial advisors now, mandatory by these players. Then you got Dion. That man got too many people who I understand that, Rich. Listen to me. I understand that. All I'm saying is that he gonna hold himself accountable. He don't have a choice.
Yes. I think if she take him to the bank, I don't think he's gonna be mad at all. I think he'd be like, y'all stay out of my business.
Oh, he gonna be mad because he gonna be broke than a motherfucker.
He don't care about money. He don't care about money. He not
whoa. Care about money. Now see, here goes a wasteless bait. 95% of sports players are broke after 5 years. How the fuck you gonna tell me he ain't gonna be broke?
He got too many. He got too many endorsement deals.
Did you hear what I just said?
I heard what you said. I'm not gonna lie to you, Graham. I heard what you said. But there's always that one that can make a difference.
Yogi, talk to him, Yogi.
Let me
King, talk to him.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Rob. I'm just saying one thing. Can I say one thing?
Let Rich land his pain. Let Rich land his pain.
I understand what you're saying about you being all the athletes being broke at the end of this, but all the ones we know that been broke, they spent their money on hoes, cars, clothes. They overlived their life. This young fella don't give me he gonna do that. Now, trust me.
He already doing it.
Listen. That's nothing to him. That truck is nothing to him.
It don't matter, but he's doing it.
What I'm saying, Mercedes might have gave him that to use his name or something.
He's working right now. You always adding shit that you can't verify. Stop it, Rick.
What you
making up shit to prove your point. You always do that.
I'm not trying to prove no point.
You create these fantasy ass scenarios to prove your viewpoint.
All right. We got King.
Somebody could have gave it to him.
They probably
did. If you go to Mercedes and you Travis Hunter and I own Mercedes, I'm gonna hook you up, my brother, because I know you're gonna give me a commercial or something. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to get an argument. I'm just trying to say, Travis Hunter
it's not an argument. I'm gonna call you out when you do shit like this. You will create a shit that you have absolutely no motherfucking knowledge of, like it's true.
Let me help you out, brother. Let me help you out. No. Hell no.
Hold on. Let King talk. No, Rich, on mute. You're always trying to control the whole conversation. Let King talk. If I can shut up, you can shut up.
I've been quiet the whole time. I said one thing. This man told me I'm tripping. I just said
we just heard.
I always feel like everybody keeping you from talking.
We just heard it. We just heard
They
you.
probably did.
Come on, King.
They want him to win.
Come on, King.
They want Travis to win. They want the love story, the Beauty and the Beast. They want all that. So they probably gave the car to the boy to get to the girl. You know what I'm saying? Like
you talking about probably.
Probably. We got it, Rick. We got it.
It's too scripted.
All right, so
this is how you niggas. This is how y'all prove y'all point with probablys and I don't knows.
Y'all too.
Well, I will say.
Okay, everybody. We got to be respectful. Let's go, Ty.
I would just say this to the statistic you gave with 95% of the NFL players not having any money, right? We also have
those are facts.
Okay, and I believe you. But we also have to think about times, okay? Now there are so many other ways for people to make money, especially when you also have a following.
You breaking up, Ty.
A following.
I heard it completely.
If he goes to the field tomorrow and breaks his leg, he can do anything else. He can stream. He can do YouTube. He can make videos. They can start vlogging right now and make millions. She can just start a YouTube and make millions. That's all I'm
coming.
I don't
that's
think
coming.
That's
the reality show is coming.
I also think
95% of podcasters fail.
Rock, I mean, but that's
Rock. Let her land a plane. Rock, let her land a plane.
I got this. Go, Ty.
You talking about regular people? We're talking about somebody that's already established.
Most of the podcasters are famous people.
We're sitting here talking about this man, and he don't know any of us. We spending our time talking about his life right now.
That's everybody we talk about, Ty.
I just posted. I'm saying, but you think he can't make y'all for just posting videos? And then you have to think about. We're attacking him and thinking that he should make better decisions. But as you stated in the beginning of this, for one, he is young. His father is in jail. Who does he have other than outside influences, which you're always, even no matter how Dion raised him. From how long?
From college.
From what age?
From
college.
From his 18-year-old.
From 18.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Everybody pause. We're having errors. Hold on. Pause. Hold your thoughts. Hold on, Ty. Hold your thoughts. We're having errors with the web. Hold on.
Good on my end. Everybody good on my end.
I can hear everybody clear.
Yeah, everybody else good. I think it's just Rock.
It's just Rock.
Hold on. Everybody pause. Hold on.
Rock still in Africa.
Hold on, y'all. Let me fix this shit. Hold on, give me a second. Oh shit, hold on.
You ain't got caught that.
Hold on, y'all. Just give me a second. Because I don't want y'all to be not be heard.
Just ask it. Everybody good over here? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear everybody clear.
Okay, we good, y'all?
Yeah, everybody look good.
Right, so I'm gonna let you cook. We're gonna pause. I'm gonna shut up too. My apologies, baby.
That's okay. I was just going to say Dion came around when he was 18. That's not raising him. That man was already fully established with his own mind, his own, history, his own perspective on life. Dion can only add to it. Now, he can mentor him and make him better, but I feel like it's going to take time. We're talking about this young man as if he is already fully established mentally and understands the world. He doesn't. He's going to mess up. Like Rock stated, this is going to be a decision that later on, and once again, we don't know. This is all speculation. They could be happy, blissful. It could last forever. But if it doesn't and it crashes and burns like we all think, he will just have to deal with that like most people have to deal with things as we do when we make decisions when we're young, right? Like he is just a young man trying to live his best life right now. I don't think, unfortunately, at the end of this, that he's just gonna crash and burn. I think
let me say this, Ty.
For him to do so. If he does crash and burn, then Dion is not mentoring him like he should. So
let me say this. Let me respond to this. Now, first of all, don't none of us wish no ill will on a young man.
Absolutely.
Right. So let's make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm not going to ignore facts, statistical facts. The fact of the matter is 95% of all athletes are broke within 5 years. 90% of athletes' career lasts no more than 5 years. They literally did movies and documentaries on it. These are facts. So when you add in these distractions, like a gold-digging ass wife who admitted that she didn't like him and dusted him to the side until the brother said, "Do you know who this dude is? He about to be the pro. He the hottest dude on the campus." And then she started talking to him.
Yep.
I can't ignore that. And no, it's not looking good already. And another thing, This is another problem that I have with black culture. We don't want our men to grow the fuck up. It's all he young. No, he's not. He's grown. He's grown. They just gave an adult 30 million guarantee. He's grown, y'all. He's grown. He can stick his dick in some pussy.
He can, and
So,
that don't make him grown.
Or don't mean you grown.
Man, he can go to war. He grown. Y'all can't change. You can't change the rule. That's the law say you're an adult when you're 18. So what the fuck y'all talking about?
But do you make adult?
We're not.
Rock, let me ask you this. The decisions you make.
So he's not grown.
The core mindset you
Wait a minute. He not grown?
That at 20.
We're not saying that, Rock. We're not saying that. We agree.
You just said he's not grown.
No,
we're not saying he's not grown. We're saying his mind hasn't matured.
But he's not.
Say that then. Say that.
That's what she's telling you.
That's what I'm gonna call you out on it.
That's what I'm telling you right now. His mind hasn't matured. Go ahead.
Don't tell me the sky green, and then when I say you say blue, well, I didn't. That what I meant. No, you gotta say the shit right.
I'm saying he is a young man. He is not mature, and just like every person ever alive, okay, you mess up when you are young. You make stupid decisions. You think you know everything, and you don't. You don't know nothing. You don't know.
That's gonna make you grown.
That's nigger talk.
Age don't make you grown, Rock.
That ain't what I'm saying.
It don't, Rock. Age
and this is why this is the problem I have with niggas. We find a fucking way to find an excuse for making mistakes. The shit gotta stop. Hold niggas accountable from the beginning. Now, what you mean how? But listen, here's my point. Here's my point. Let me explain. Ty, you're absolutely right. Rich, you're absolutely right. Quality, you're absolutely right. But guess what? Just because you're right, I'm still not going to use that as an excuse for him. If he fuck up, I'm going to call him out on it. If he making mistakes, I'm going to call him out on it. Let me tell you something. The court system don't give two shits if you immature. Tell that to the judge when a nigga break the law. Because they young, they immature. They didn't have a mama, they didn't have a daddy. You think the goddamn court give a fuck?
But they still
You think the court give a fuck about Carmelo being young?
Let him finish, Rich. Let him finish.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen, y'all act like white boys don't get a lot of money at 18. Y'all act like Asian boys don't get a lot of money at 18. Some of them niggas inherit the money when they 18.
And they fuck it off too.
And they mess up.
They fuck it off just like us.
That's bullshit.
They snort that shit
bullshit. You know what that's called? I'm gonna tell you what that's called. No, I'm gonna tell you what that's called. A motherfucker try to tell you your yard ain't cut. Your yard ain't cut. So that's bullshit.
That ain't no bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Okay, so Rock, this goes back to
hold on. Hold on.
How black
people let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So you mean to tell me that just as many white kids who get money young fuck it off and be broke as much as niggas? I dare y'all fix y'all mouth to say
wait. Let me retaliate. Let me respond.
So yes.
Yeah, the fuck
niggas
up
don't have no money to fuck up.
The young money fuck up is not race oriented, bro.
No, it's not. It's age.
Not race oriented.
It's immaturity.
That ain't what I'm. Thank you. It's majority niggas.
No, immaturity.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you this.
Niggas don't have more money than whites.
Hold on. Okay, Rich, let me ask you this.
And black
no way to be true.
Okay, let me ask y'all this. Hold on. Let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this. What's the most financially illiterate race in America? I dare you fix y'all mouth a lot.
I already know that. That's easy.
Okay, then I'm done talking. I'm done talking.
That's not
that don't have nothing to do with it. That don't have nothing to do with it.
I'm done talking. I'm done talking. Y'all can debate between each other.
But your point just proved our point. Okay.
No, it don't.
financial.
Give her a chance. Let's hear what she got to say, y'all.
We are the most illiterate people. So
exactly.
When our young people fuck their money
about money,
they don't have other people to help them gain that money back, to help them pick themselves back up, to give them other opportunities. When other races, specifically our Caucasus Mountain people, when they mess up their money, they have many different resources to put them back in place so that they are able to gain their money. In today's world, 2025, this is one of the first times where we are almost at a level playing field because of social media, because of how much you can actually monetize yourself.
We are not at a level playing field, Ty.
Almost. She said almost.
We're not almost, nigga.
I said that. I agree with you.
What's wrong with y'all?
I agree with you.
We're not.
I agree with you. We ain't close.
We're not
even close.
We're not close.
I feel that we are almost there if everyone decided to actually put effort towards that. Now, if we're talking about the lack of effort, if we're talking about the lack of education, if we're talking about the lack of will and want, that's a totally different conversation. But if everybody put that foot forward and decided that we were going to push through, like Black people have proven we could push through everything else that has been an obstacle in our lives throughout history.
But Ty, you're right. Everything you're saying is true. But those are goals, not realities. It's a difference.
Barack, listen here.
Those are dreams. Those are aspirations. It's not a reality. We're at the bottom of the. Now, here's the thing. The conversation ain't about why we're disproportionate. The conversation ain't about why most of us are where we at as a people. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm just speaking on the facts of the. Let me tell you what my grandpa used to tell me. You know what he used to tell me? He say, excuses are tools which incompetent people use to give examples of nothingness. My grandpa used to tell me, my grandfather used to tell me this. He used to say, look here, son, life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. But guess what? That don't mean don't go out and do what you got to do. Have anybody ever ran track before? I ran track. Guess what? How far is the runner in the 8 lane from the runner in the first?
Yep.
Talk to me.
Okay.
There's no difference.
Okay, and
what's the point now? What's the
point? Here's my point. Here's my point.
I don't know.
Here's my point, Rich.
Hold on, Ty.
Here's my point, Rich. Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm gonna just keep it all the way a beam. And here's the problem with Black people as a whole. The reason why a lot of us can't come to solutions or act out the solutions to our problem as a people, because most of the time when Black folks engage in a conversation about how to fix our problems, we never really get to the solution or act out the solution because we get swallowed up in why we're there. We get swallowed up in why we're there. And I get tired of having this same dead-ass conversation. And it's the same dead conversation. We get talking about, but we was oppressed. We were slaves and we're disproportionate and we get redlined and racism and the glass ceiling. We already know that. We've been knowing that shit for 50 years.
Well,
okay, now let's rebuttal. Let's rebuttal. Get Rich. Now let's go, Rich.
Now listen. We know the situation we're in. We know what we're talking about.
Okay, let's stop bitching about it. How can you find the answer if you keep talking about the problem?
Ain't nobody bitching. Ain't nobody bitching, Rob. We all with you.
I'm calling it bitching.
But I'm saying, why you so angry?
Now, hold on. Let me get fuck that quality.
You're the one.
You see that? Now y'all see, I'm on bad behavior. Hey,
I ain't talking to you, Ty. I'm talking about that Black nigga on the way. Hold on. Let me put that motherfucker by me. I'm gonna put your ass by me, nigga. I'm gonna put you next to me. Hold on.
That ain't gonna work.
Let me see if I can just put me in your
ass. Y'all don't even know it. I'm not gonna do that. Listen, Rock. I'm just saying we all agree with you. Why you so angry? What's the problem?
I ain't angry. Yeah, I don't like you.
Who you don't like?
I love y'all. Fuck
I don't
that
like
shit.
you.
I love all y'all.
Why? What I do? I'd like to make America great again. You understand what I'm saying? I like your hat.
That's what your hat say, my boy.
That's what the hat say. That's what the motherfucking hat say.
Now the thing I'm getting at is though, as a black people, we don't have no leadership. And I've been saying this from the beginning of the podcast. I mean, since we've been podcasting, we have no black leaders. That's the problem.
And that's bullshit.
You
and I'm
said
gonna say this again.
You said when we get in the room, we can't agree on shit. That means we don't have no leader.
This is you know what that's
called. When
you hear that,
we don't have a leader.
You know the
problem. You go in that room and you agree you got a leader.
That's what you call excuse talk.
That ain't an excuse. I'm saying
okay, hold on.
One. Produce me a leader.
Rich.
Show me somebody out there in the front saying, "Hey, I got the black people in America."
To everybody in YouTube land,
man, but y'all not letting him talk, man.
Now hold on, quality. To everybody in YouTube land, let me say this shit, and I'm gonna get this straight shit, because I gotta be careful of the information motherfuckers like him put out. Let me tell you something in America.
My information is fact.
For any nigga, hold on. For any nigga to fix his motherfucking mouth. To get on a platform with the world watching and sit here and say that ain't no black leaders, that's disrespect to the whole fucking race. And that's disrespectful. Hold on, that's disrespectful.
Where are these leaders at, Rock?
That's disrespectful.
Give me one.
Stop cutting me out. Stop cutting me out.
Give me somebody that's fighting us in America. Give me Jesse Jackson. Give me a Martin Luther King. Give me a Malcolm X. Give me a Marcus Garvey. Give me a nigga, man. Give me Tupac. Give me Drake. Give me somebody, nigga. Ain't nobody gonna stand up because everybody
let me tell you something.
That's the problem. We're trying to get money for ourselves.
For any nigga that fixing his mouth.
Oh, they kick Rich off.
No, he ain't kicked out. He had.
He ain't gonna never be kicked out. Y'all know Rich is family.
Let me tell you something. Hold on, I gotta say this because I love y'all. But when a motherfucker say some crazy shit, for any nigga, for any black person to fix his mouth and sit there and tell the world that ain't no black leaders out there, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to King. That's disrespectful to Quality, Yogi, Ty. That's disrespectful to me. That's disrespectful to every black coach out there that's raising these kids and coaching these kids. That's disrespectful for the pastors out there that's leading the community. That's disrespectful for every black teacher out there that's looking out for these children. That's disrespectful. You don't ever fix your mouth. I'm gonna say this again. This is what I say, Ty. The problem ain't that we don't have enough leaders. The problem is we don't have enough fucking followers.
I agree.
Okay, that could be true.
That's the problem, Ty. Because guess what? And look, the people that we choose to follow as a whole are detrimental to us as a people. We the only race of people who heroes do the jump shot. We the only race of people who heroes dance.
Who are only heroes that be on TV, faces on TVs, things like
that.
That ain't it. That ain't it.
That ain't
Those
it.
are not heroes. Those are regular people.
Them regular people. Like, come on, man. Stop that shit. I ain't gonna let Rich get away with that shit. We ain't got no leaders.
I agree.
Put it like that. When you put it like that, it if you
it makes a bunch of sense.
Yeah, it makes a bunch of sense.
What is King gonna do?
Because I get where
it's supposed to make sense because what he. Go ahead. I'm sorry, King. Go ahead.
I get where Rich is coming from too, but when you landed like that, Rock, it's understood because that was going to be part of my conversation earlier about not just the rap industry but the film industry. I had just told to my face.
Yeah,
that y'all ain't born in this industry. That's why we don't do it. Because doing film is expensive. This is an expensive profession to get, and it's the wild, wild west. Like there's no wrong answer. There's no right or wrong at any level. If you're making 200 million like Ryan Coogler to making the little pennies that I'm making, there's no wrong answer. So but when I heard a white little girl, white woman tell me that to my face. And she was saying it in a sense of endearment. She was trying to teach me game. She was like, y'all ain't born in this. And she was younger than me. when she
That's
said
amazing.
Because she been in it since she was 12. Like getting paid working like as a locations manager for big ass movies and shit. And so she was training me to be a location manager and just showing me around. And I was like, wow. So yeah, there's leaders in us as in like we teaching and showing on the game. But again, I do agree a little bit with Rich in the sense that there's not enough of us concentratedly leading the new music youth and like getting good music deals. Yeah, we see a lot on the social media, them educating about don't do this kind of deal, be independent, be this, be that. We're seeing that a lot now in the last year or two. But just as far as like how I teach film, like when you look at my stuff, you'll see a lot of brown and black people behind the camera working that are intelligent.
We need more followers.
But it took conscious
effort. We don't have no leaders. Who they following?
Let the man talk.
Man, I'm just asking who we following. Who are
Go ahead.
You want to keep him mute? Who we following?
You damn right.
It took conscious effort for me to do that.
You can't tell me who we following.
Oh my fucking God, bro.
God damn. Sorry, Todd. This is how we get down in Mama's house. You know, sometimes we get loud in the basement. But when you go see us,
can't shit on me and then just say, "Oh, shut up and go to the corner." I can't go to the corner when you tell.
It ain't even me talking and he cutting y'all off. Don't finish, man. Finish, bro. This nigga crazy.
But we as a people, we do have to start being conscious. It's not like no DEI operative type of shit. It's just more saying like, I just noticed in my industry of film, it's usually the others that get all the pictures behind the scenes. You don't see many of us behind the scenes, not only as writers, but as lighting guys, as you know, the executives and shit like that. So, you know, it does take a sense of leadership for that to happen. You know what I mean?
All right, so we finna change subjects, man. We finna switch.
Ty was about to say something.
Huh?
Let's let Ty have the last statement.
Oh, go ahead,
Ty. To King's point, I would say in that industry specifically that Tyler Perry would be a leader, right? He created a studio. He created opportunities, jobs.
Yeah. Tyler Perry is a good example.
He's a fucking leader.
Artists, you know what I mean? Actors to actually have a platform and got them good money. Like we have running shows now, and a lot of times people try to downgrade what Tyler Perry does, but he is the leader in that space.
Yep.
That's something more I feel that the Issa Rae should do. What is that other black male producer? He just came out with the last movie that just came out.
Ryan Coogler. Sinners.
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler.
Yes, Ryan Coogler. He should be doing the same thing. Like
Jordan Peele.
That's what Rich is talking about, right? We should have people who are already at the top investing back into the black community and creating opportunities like Kai Cenat is doing.
Let me say this. I think y'all got
Rich, stop, bro. Goddamn.
Yeah, goddamn, how y'all gonna tell me about my point? I'm trying to tell you what I'm saying. I'm not saying none of that bullshit. I ain't saying a goddamn thing. I ain't landing my
majority of the hour in 18 minutes.
Welcome, Tom.
Look how stupid he look.
I give a damn. I'm saying one thing, player. I'm saying one thing about leadership, man.
This nigga be bringing up debates from 5 shows ago. We can't even stay on the fucking tag.
You just said something.
You say that shit every damn show.
I'm trying to explain my leadership in 1 second. It takes number 1 second.
But you've been arguing about that for 5 episodes.
I haven't argued. You the one arguing. I just said it ain't no.
Am I lying, y'all? He keep bringing up the same shit.
Because we don't have no leaders. That's why.
Nigga, that was 5 episodes ago. We ain't got to argue about the same thing
but
every episode. We got 10 new topics, nigga.
I'm hearing everybody saying something about leaders. All I'm saying
bring it up,
I'm not talking
I ain't saying nothing.
The leaders I'm talking about are for the people. Not nobody doing no music. Not nobody caring about no. I don't care if you're the top basketball, top movie maker. I'm talking about who out here like Malcolm and Martin. But the people. That's what I'm talking about, leadership. I'm not talking about individual. I'm not talking about your pastor. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about who getting out here for the people, man. Like that African nigga doing
Islam.
Come on, Ryan. Let's move on. That's his last statement.
What is you talking about?
Man, fuck the Muslims. They ain't doing nothing.
Come on, Rich.
Oh my God. This nigga disrespectful.
And that's not even the program. That's not even the play. That's
man,
not
we go to the next. Hey,
I can
y'all
be disrespectful.
Mute your phone for editing purposes. We gotta be quiet.
Let's go.
I gotta go to the next topic.
We can't have that kind of leader, Rich. We can't have that kind of leader no more. That's old, antiquated. That's too much of a target.
This shit is crazy, bro. But let's go to the next subject, y'all. It's an hour and 20 minutes. We got to move forward. All right, we need y'all to mute y'all phone, y'all mics for the editing purposes.
You have to stop seeking equity and degeneracy. That's what you want to be equal to these white men with. Their ability to be degenerate, their ability to get away with harming others because you view masculinity as violence. Your whole idea is packed up as masculinity is violence. Now, to be able to carry out violence is a masculine thing. Violence in and of itself does not determine how masculine you are. It's a tool because it could be used as a tool to protect.
Facts.
It's a very masculine thing to do, protect. If we was hunting and gathering, the ability to carry out violence will provide. Being violent towards a woman because she rejects you, that's not no masculine shit. You're a pussy, bitch. Why didn't Cassie leave? We watched the whole video of her trying to get away.
We watched the video of her trying to leave.
We watched the video of her trying to leave.
Right.
In 4K.
Trying to get away.
And we saw what happened.
Yeah.
First of all, to not acknowledge the psychological effects of abuse. He was using a woman as a sex slave.
That's what she was.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
One of the dudes got up on the stand and said the sessions would last sometimes up to 10 hours. If you think a woman is enjoying that, have you ever had sex with a woman? It was rape. On a consistent basis, he was paying people to rape her. Diddy is probably like, you know, as far as black men go in this music industry, this is how you operate with pure evil.
Yeah.
Because he saw equity in degeneracy.
All right, I don't know who that dude is. I'm gonna say a little something about it, and then I'm gonna open up some context to it. But before I say something, we're gonna go with Ty, man. You know, this is actually the first time we had a female on the panel, and this is one of the reasons why I really appreciate you being here, because sometimes it sucks having conversations about subjects like this and not having a woman's perspective on it, whether we agree or not. It's just good to have, you know, a woman's perspective on it, because y'all have something to say in the matter, you know, whether you agree with us or not or whatever. So, Ty, I'm really interested, man. And land your plane, take your time, land your plane. Let us know when you land so we won't cut y'all. What's your thoughts on what he said, on his view of it?
Okay, so, I mean, I respect his view of the entire situation. I've only gotten some cliff notes of the full case. Previous to that, I would have agreed with him, right? But finding out more information, this kind of goes back to the lesson Rock stated that his father taught him. You sign up for something, and unfortunately, sometimes in those situations, you then have to see it through. I feel that Cassie signed up for that life, and she kept signing up for it. Even after she left, I know we have that video of her trying to leave and he beat her and brought her back. We don't know how many times that happened, but we also have text messages where she already left and she was still wanting to be around him. Her whole motivation was to be the number one woman in his life. So I honestly feel that even though I do believe that that Diddy did all of these terrible things and that he had these sex parties and freak-offs and that sometimes she may have been taken advantage of, sadly, I feel that that's also a bed that she created. And then she had to lay in it. And once she laid in it, she realized it's not as comfortable as I thought. And I don't like it that much. But she continued with it because she had a motivation. She wanted something from it. She wanted to get or gain a lifestyle from that situation. And it's unfortunate. It really is. And I empathize with her. But I do think it was her decision, unfortunately.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Ty, and then we're gonna go to Rich. So Ty, and I think I speak for most of us on the panel when I ask this question. I really want to know what is your view of men like this guy? This is your honest opinion. Like, what is your view of men like this guy? Whether good or bad, we don't know what your answer is going to be. What is your view of men like this that view things or situations like this? Do you consider it pandering, or do you feel what he's saying, or do you want his premise?
I feel that there is some pandering there, right? There's an audience that he's trying to draw in. Of course, this is a platform for him to try to draw in as many people. It's monetized, so he's going to make money off of it as long as he gets the perspective and starts agreeing with a certain group, and women are the majority, right? So if you agree with the woman's perspective, whether it's right or wrong, of course they're going to align with you. Now, I'm not saying that his full perspective is wrong. I did agree with some things that he stated, but I do think that he is pandering more towards what he thinks people want him to say rather than what might actually be his perspective on the situation.
Okay. So one more question before we go to Rich. And this just came out of my mind just hearing what you're saying because it makes sense. It's very authentic. So from a woman's perspective, why do you think the men that do pander, why do you think they do it? Like outside of just trying to win an audience or whatever. Like what do you think it is personally within them, whether it's their life experience or how they was raised, whatever it may be? What do you think psychologically makes them do that?
You know what? You always hear that saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I think that there are certain type of people who are not grounded in who they are in their own perspective, right? So they begin to move with the tide. And whatever way the tide moves, they're going to move with it. And I just think there are just some people that will naturally do that because they haven't 100% found themselves or their perspectives, or just found the confidence in their own opinions. We live in a world now where you can't be opinionated. You'll get canceled if you don't agree with the majority, even if the majority is wrong, you know? So I think that's just the whole thing. Like, people are too afraid to have their own opinions. And then a lot of them actually don't have an opinion. So it's easier to just bandwagon onto someone else's.
Cool. So, Rich, let me ask you this about it.
The tape.
So you heard everything he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me add some context to this. So if you were there on that podcast, right? So you was there with him and you heard him say everything he said. Pretend you're there. We want to hear how you would have responded to that. So in other words, talk to us like you're talking to him as far as responding to his response.
Straight off the top, you might well go over that with Travis. He's just one of them niggas that you got those simps in the world that's like that, man. They believe chivalry ain't dead. They want to save every woman. They want to put a coat down if it's some water on the ground. You got them type of brothers, man. And that's what he is, man. That's all that is. We can't stop simps. That's why prostitutes make a bunch of money. You got simps out there. He just one of them. Look at him. He kind of heavy set. He grew him some dreads. He a comedian. I don't think he had too much activity with women. So yeah, he gonna pander toward the pretty lady. Oh, he doing her wrong. You know what I'm saying? To a guy that get a lot of women, he'll probably like, that ain't shit. But I understand, and it is wrong because don't abuse women. I'm not with none of that. I'm with a bunch of bullshit, but I ain't with that. But that nigga there, him and Travis might as well be homeboys because they out there. And that's all you seeing right there. A bunch of them Travis Hunter niggas just speaking, and you know, because they used to didn't have a voice. But you give them a camera and a phone and they can talk now. And you really hearing that. You know what I'm saying? He don't know no better. He think that's right. And cool, you know, he really feel that way. I bet he was like, Travis won. He got the best woman. He one of them niggas, you know. He ain't on the side of where like, man, damn, we lost. Okay. We lose.
Calm down.
Okay. I love that nigga, man. I love him, man.
I'm just saying.
We agree.
I'm just saying, you know, that's hey.
Okay, so let me we gonna go to Yoga, then we gonna go to King. All right. Yoga.
I'm just saying, hey. I'm just hey.
Yeah. Hey man.
Oh my God.
Hey man. Hey man. My boy Rich be on one for real, man. But you can't disagree with too much shit that the man say. You can't disagree with too much of what the man say. You know what I'm saying? He just out here trying to cater to an audience, trying to say everything that the women want to hear. Still ain't gonna get shit. It ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of, like, honestly, bro, I feel like we speaking on this case like we was there and know everything, bro. It's just different perspectives that you talk about when you're dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? And he just got the perspective of trying to cater to whoever he's trying to cater to, big dog. He look like he hungry. KFC down the street from him.
See?
Hold on. After Yogi, we're gonna go to
KFC.
But let me say this, Yogi.
Yeah.
What I don't like about people like him is that, you know, because let's be real, bro.
Always.
You know, and I've been keeping up with it, and I'll be reading the court documents the way they reading everything that was said in the court. Look, I'm gonna tell you what I don't like about cats like him. It don't matter how much evidence is out there, how much proof. Some people just mind made up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's mind made up.
100%.
Of course.
This woman sitting here admitted to actually initiating a lot of the freak outs. She's actually the one who kept all the recordings. She's actually the one who came up with a lot of the ideas. She's actually the one who asked to be peed on.
Let me say this. Can I speak right quick? Right quick. I don't mean to interrupt nobody. But I was the one that is defending that girl 90% of the time when it came to this.
Yeah.
I've been watching this shit. Hands down, I'm done.
Yeah, it is. That is.
That's real.
This is literally what she is. I have determined that it's no more of me trying to make this girl a regular girl. This is what this bitch is. This is what she is. I'm done.
This is what she wanted,
I'm
man.
done. I can't do no more. I can't
do no more.
It's all her life.
I told you she up there pregnant talking about she ain't no freak. You up there pregnant now.
I'm wrong.
Full of calm talking about that.
And I did everything in my
power.
Calm
talking about I ain't did what?
I did everything. I did everything in my power to defend this girl. I'm sick right now after some of the shit that I done heard.
And look,
I'm done. I'm
and
done.
Quality,
I can't do no more.
Quality. And let's not forget when she would get mad in text because she jealous because she not the wife when she know what her position was the whole time with the
You knew it the whole time.
And then you, hey, Rock, y'all know what's really bad when they.
Hold on, let Ty go.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
We gotta let King go after that. Go, Ty.
Okay. Go, Ty.
Go, Ty.
I was just gonna say I agree with you, Rock. Like that blew my mind. She wanted to be number one so bad, but you came in like number 3. How are you?
She don't even say
hold on, let her cook.
How you gonna bulldoze everybody else and try to take Kim's spot? Like, let's be real. This man has a full family with her and multiple other women, but you, as the girlfriend, that you should be number 1. It just didn't make sense. That seemed like her entire motivation was just to be number 1. and it just didn't happen for her. And that's what she's upset about. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of these people are upset about. They all so that they can gain something, so that they thought they were going to get a deal, get some connections, get some money. And when things didn't pan out the way that they wanted to, even though they signed the paper themselves, nobody had a gun.
They cry about it.
Now everybody is upset. But like Rock was stating, all of these people, for the most part, now excluding who's supposed to be the children, everybody else was grown.
Mm-hmm.
Came in with clear mind, knowing exactly what was going on.
It was understood.
Understood.
And you still decided to do it, and now you want to cry about it afterwards. No, just take it on the chin. You did some nasty stuff, swallow a little pee. You know what I'm saying? Now you know that.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with little pee.
All right, King, yo, go.
Chill out, Rich.
Hold on, you got it. Next time we got to let King go. Go, King.
Yeah. No, I'm listening. I agree with it 100%.
You frozen, King.
I'm frozen.
I'm getting him. I'm getting him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still here. But no, I was saying I was agreeing with everything y'all are saying right now. And yes, she did ask for these things. She texted these things. Following that case was crazy. With dude, the podcaster guy, he kind of threw me off too because I was checking it out. I was like, the beginning of what he's saying made sense a little bit. Then he kind of twisted it. And I just felt like, yeah, I get the whole Cassie case and stuff like that. Yeah, we can get into that. But I feel like this is stay on his topic. I feel like I've heard this argument before from these kind of cats. And it's like, it's kind of like trying to do this catch-all thing to make it seem like, oh, this is toxic masculinity. So, everybody's for Tory Lanez and Megan's not a liar and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, dude, you kind of throwing me off with that, bro. We can really tell the difference between brownies and strawberry shortcake and tres leche cake. It ain't all cake. It's different stuff. We can tell the difference what's going on. Like, there are people, because me and my wife, we watch it too, cold cases at nighttime and what these motherfuckers did to each other. And that shit is real. But for the stuff Puffy doing just because he a freaky motherfucker, nasty, y'all just all of y'all, everybody who's involved was nasty.
Yes.
This is nasty. That's what y'all do, though. There's nothing against the law against that. Be as nasty as you want to be. That's why we got bathrooms and showers and nice soap. You get cleaned up after you do what you do. But
you still a nasty motherfucker.
Dude. Yeah. That podcast dude just kind of rubbed me wrong because, like, what is his angle? Why?
He don't have one.
Here?
Why,
bitch. Y'all let him cook. Let him cook, y'all. Let him cook, please.
I was just saying, like, why is this here? Kind of like the same vibe I got when you listen to it, a Sexy Red song, and you just kind of like, why is this song out? Who are they talking to? So that's where I'm going with the cat. He got some kind of agenda. They got an agenda with this guy.
Yeah, and you know what kills me? The whole case was built on shit that's totally legal, and that's being a freak.
Hey, Rob.
Like, wait a minute. Like, how is it that the domestic violence part seems to be the least part of the case with the prosecutor? So even the federal court system is showing you we really don't give a fuck about you beating on a black woman.
All we care about. Go ahead.
Like, do you realize how insane that is? Because guess what? We know he's guilty of hitting her.
Yeah.
That part ain't even the question.
They ain't even talking about that part.
They don't even care about that.
You saw his defense started with that. If he here for beating on her, he guilty. We wouldn't even be here because we know that.
We not even care about
that.
Did you know it's bad? I want to say one thing.
But the only reason we know about this is because she fucking left. And guess what? She's pregnant now. So she didn't give up fucking.
You know what's sad? When they put that other girl on there, she threw Cassie under the bus, talking about she didn't have talent. She wanted to be up under Puffy. He didn't mess her career up. I mean, that other girl just went in on his assistant. And I was like, damn, the girls ain't standing with the girls on this one. So that's what really kind of opened my eyes. And then they lied to us. Remember, they said they got these tapes of freak offs. And come to find out, the freak off is just Puffy with a nigga in the corner. He jacking off and cum on the nipple shit. I'm like, where's TD Jakes? Where is Ursha?
Yeah, right.
Where are these people? Y'all lied to us because right now it ain't number one girl, Cassie and some men. I'm like, where's all these celebrities? You had 100 lists. these tapes, people hiding, having
white
heart
one
attack.
too.
Yeah, remember everybody was hiding. All the white men
went.
went. They had everything, and come to find out you ain't got nothing.
Wait a minute.
You saw that?
Rich. It was more white people at his parties than
Yes.
niggas. So where all the white people at?
I'm just saying, where the tapes at? They ain't doing the tapes. See, they hiding them tapes because it must be some white people on it. Because now all they doing, they're talking about this one incident. I'm like, let's get past that.
But see what it sounds like to me is this, man. It's going back to what Ty said, bro. It sounds like a bitch that came in third place, trying to do everything under the sun to please this nigga to get him first. That's what it sound like, bro.
But he not on trial for her. That's what I'm still tripping on.
Miami. She got mad at Carucci, whatever girl.
Spending that money.
She got everything she wanted in 6 months. And she said, I done took all this shit over 11 years. Hell nah.
That's
same.
And she garbage as an artist, if you ask me.
Hell has no fury like a woman's scorn.
Oh no.
Exactly.
Oh no. Oh no.
Think about this, y'all. That Cassie literally burnt down a whole kingdom over an emotional reaction.
You goddamn right. She not the first one either. Michelle A did that to Death Row.
Yes. Yes.
Shit. Helen of Troy. Shit.
There you go. There you go. That's why we say Travis Hunter, you couldn't tell him nothing. He loved that woman. Y'all better believe
Suge did that to his damn self.
Yeah, you know that.
For real.
Suge would But yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
Blame that on Michelle.
We ain't gonna blame that. We got a whole
Don't do that.
Suge hurt that her.
She was getting beat silently for the longest.
Yeah. She went from, but look, I ain't gonna lie now. I gotta say this, Ty. You know what? Here's a good question. Think about this, Ty. And I want your perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
Frame it up right.
Listen to the mind of some of these women, not from personal experience, hopefully, but just from you knowing how a woman mind work and maybe knowing females who have experienced this. Think about this. Miss LA went from man beater to man beater to man beater. I mean, Miss LA went from woman beater to woman beater to woman beater.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that.
Well, I think when in her documentary it stated that she grew up in a home where they were her mother. So that was reality, right? So unfortunately, if you never heal yourself from your trauma, especially in your childhood, all you're going to do is attract that energy back to yourself. It doesn't matter where you go, what country you go to, you will continuously run into the same people. Yeah. So she kept running into the same man and falling for them because that's what she knew was love.
Yeah, nice, good nigga.
It's just like the Chris Brown situation. That was sad, but he saw his mother get beat. And then when he got anger and had a moment that was out of control, and don't get me wrong, Rihanna did a lot.
It ain't right.
Yeah. Rihanna did a lot. But he did what he knew.
Yeah.
Right. How he knew how to respond, even if he didn't want to. He talked about it for years, how much he hated that. But put in that situation, he did the exact same thing because he never really healed from it.
It's a force of habit.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you raised by your mama, you might hit a girl. Yeah. Because your mother gonna say, "Don't let nobody hit you."
That and if by just your mother, especially as a man, you tend to be much more emotional, right?
Yes. Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah, hold on, y'all. Let her cook. Y'all fucking up my edits, man.
You tend to react to things like your mother, and you don't have that perspective of how man would usually react in a situation that's tense. So a woman will yell, scream, and hit, but maybe our hits aren't as effective as a man yelling and screaming and hitting. It's going to be way more violent. It's way more out of control because it's just testosterone man, right? So it's the unbalance of it all. When the young man is raised by his mom, that's why I always recently on like a story on Instagram that a young boy needs his mother from birth to the age of 6. After 6, he needs his father up until at least 16, 18. And from there, he will let the people around him mold him into the man that he will become. But you need your father so bad in your lives because you need that direction. You need to know how to navigate through life. A woman can never teach you that. We're not men. We can only teach you how to respond to things, how we respond. And most of the time that will be emotional unless we take control of that. And then in that case, to a certain extent, we're acting outside of our femininity because that's not our role.
All right, that's what's up. That's good information. That's good news.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to switch to the next section. We're going to take a little turn, man. We're going to take a little twist. This is going to be interesting. I'm anxious to hear y'all responses.
Stop texting me.
All right, y'all mute your mics for editing purposes, please.
Come from an era, just me personally, be tough, make good decisions, and fuck that weakness shit. That's me.
So therapy is weakness.
To me.
How?
To me, because I feel you got to be mentally tough enough to get past that shit. But I don't want no man to say, "Oh, I'm gonna be like TK." And you don't have the same mother or father I have. You don't have my DNA. I can do what I've done because I've had the experiences and I'm mentally and think differently. But if you and I'm not saying that you're weak. I'm saying that that's
you did say that.
Well, I did. I did. You know, and if you on therapy, yeah, you weak motherfucker. But
I'm in therapy.
No, I know you in therapy.
Yeah, no, I am. But let me tell you something, and I'll tell you.
Yes.
I think the guys like you are weak.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why.
Right. Okay.
Because if there is something that can actually help your life.
Yes.
Like if there's something that can actually make you a better person.
Yes.
If there's something that actually helps you work out who you are.
Yes.
And work out the way that you show up for other people in your life.
Yes.
And the type of man that you are.
Yes.
And you don't do it because of a really artificial perception.
Yes.
I feel like that's weak.
Yes.
I feel like.
But you're entitled to your opinion.
Of course,
yes,
right?
You're entitled to your opinion.
So I feel like the weakness that we have to get over is the weakness that tells us that there is some structure of manhood or some structure even of discipline, take manhood out of it, that necessitates that we in some way cut ourselves off from who we are emotionally or psychologically.
So
that discipline,
what you're saying,
like, I'm hurting. I want to cry. I can't. I want to do this. I can't, because I could make an argument right now.
Yes.
That the reason why you're in a situation with a woman and you get so mad that you want to smack her is because you have not properly resolved your feelings. And if you have properly resolved your feelings and how somebody else triggers you, makes you feel, that you would not ever get to that point. You wouldn't have to avoid certain women because
you out your damn mind.
The person that you really avoiding, TK,
Hell
is yourself.
No, I'm not even gonna let you go with that.
The person that you avoiding is yourself.
We're having a therapy session.
This is therapy right here.
No.
We're gonna save
No,
TK.
that ain't gonna happen.
We're gonna save TK Kirkland.
I come from an era.
Oh, bring it here when you get done. Bring it here. Bring it here.
Also, before we get going, y'all, when we can, when one of us is talking, let's try to minimize the ad libs. It's really hard to edit it. That's why I haven't been able to edit as many clips. I mean, actually cutting someone off is actually doesn't really hurt the editing. You know what I'm saying? It just shows engagement, which is good as long as it ain't too much of it. Because when we get into the debate, that's a good thing. It's not all bad. But the ad-libbing, like when someone's talking, it makes it hard for me to edit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they really saying some shit, like, you know, because, you know, we have moments where we dropping some bars. But if it's too much ad-libbing, then I can't really edit that part, because I really like to try to do edits and clips to give y'all sound bites for y'all, send to y'all, and y'all can post as well for y'all, you know, betterment or to promote yourselves. Okay. So I'm gonna hold my tongue on this one. I have some stuff to say, but I don't always want to go first or last. So look like Quality want to go first. So
and I already know what he's gonna say.
What's your take on this, Quality? So y'all let them cook. What's your take? And of course y'all can, you know, ask questions, debate, or whatever. Just try not to minimize it. Just try to minimize the ad-libs. All right, go ahead, Mr. Quality.
All right, I'm gonna try to make this quick, y'all, but I'm gonna let them play.
Yeah.
I agree with both people. Both people are right in this particular situation. I am one of those who believe in my mind is so strong that you're right. I do not need nobody to tell me about me. Don't nobody know me better than me. So can't nobody else tell me that no matter what I tell them, because you will never have the experiences that I have experienced to understand how I've become who I've become. But on the same token, I can understand how the other person could consider not wanting to be counseled to be considered a weakness too. It's not that I don't want to be counseled. It's just that I can counsel myself. So if I can counsel myself, then I don't need anyone else's input on how to try to help me be better me. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't listen to what they're saying. I hear everything that's being said. I will take into understanding of what you're saying about me, and I might even utilize it. But that doesn't mean that I can't counsel myself. I am a very strong individual, and I'm very, very stuck in my ways. If you want to say stuck in my ways. But yeah, that's me. I don't believe that I'm strong-minded.
So you feel that you can counsel yourself, correct?
Yes.
Just stated that you are stubborn and stuck in your ways.
Mm-hmm.
So how could you help yourself? First of all, how could you see and acknowledge the flaws? Because one of the hardest things to do as a person knowing yourself is to acknowledge that you are doing things wrong because you've been doing them forever, right? You think that's the right way, especially based on how you grew up, your background, whatever that may be. That might have been the way that things have always been done, but that can be wrong. So if you're not getting outside professional opinions on you or willing to listen or take that in, knowing you as a stubborn person, how exactly do you counsel yourself? Like, can you take me through a moment where you stopped yourself from doing something you knew that was wrong and counseled yourself through it? And then what was the solution that you came to make sure you didn't do that again?
Well, and to answer your question, the moment was life. Life makes you understand certain things. When you know you did something wrong, you have to be accountable for it. And that's something that I feel like when it comes to people, accountability is always the worst thing that they possess. They cannot be accountable for their actions. When it comes to me, I'm very accountable for my actions. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to admit that. I'm going to say that. I'm going to live on it, and I'm going to change that. So when you say let me see how the stubborn word, I don't necessarily consider it stubborn. I just more or less look at it as I'm accountable. I'm accountable.
No. I didn't call you stubborn.
No. Okay.
Stubborn.
Okay.
You specifically stated that you were stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay, so I get you.
About yourself.
I get you.
Which means that when you hold yourself accountable, which, let's be honest, accountability has to come after the fact. So now we're being reactive to that problem. The point of counseling is so that you can be proactive. So that when the trigger happens, you can automatically acknowledge it. And then you don't have to be accountable for anything bad that you've done. Because you can stop yourself from doing that thing.
All right, my last word rebuttal to it would be this here. Not necessarily a rebuttal, but just to answer your question. Okay. Sometimes when you're wrong, I don't react every time that I'm like let's say I'm not wrong or I think I'm not wrong. I don't react right away. I take the moment to think about what has transpired, what has happened, what could I have done better, what could I have done differently to make this situation differently. That to me is why I get the accountability thing. I'm accountable for my actions. So if you want to say stubborn, what you want to call it, I'm cool with that. We can call it whatever you want to label it. That's fine. But I'm so accountable for my actions that I cannot even think about anyone else's. I can't think about nobody else's type of thought or input on it because I'm so accountable for what I do. If it fucked me up, then we're not going to do that no more. Go ahead.
I just want to ask you a question, Quad. When did you become accountable for yourself? What age? I'm saying, when did you figure that out? Like, damn, this is it. I got to start being accountable. I'm saying, when did you do that? I'm saying, because it could have been older, like myself.
I get you.
I'm an old fool. I'm just saying, when did that happen? When did that light click on to say, I could fix myself. I mean, I got to do something different. You know what I'm trying to say? Because as a man, I know men understand what I'm saying. It's a point you come and say, I got to do something different. And that ain't counseling, that ain't nothing. I just got to change. So I'm saying, by what age or when did you figure that out?
I'm going to say it's not a specific age. It becomes with a level of maturity. When you're able to understand what you are doing. See, I can't blame, Rock is really good at this. And this is why me and him going to always agree. I can't blame somebody else's actions on what I do. It's my decision. It's my decision overall. No matter what we talking about, no matter what we dealing with, it is my decision overall to determine what I'm going to do, how I'm going to react, how I'm going to go. Even if my reaction may not be the right one, I can understand that. Well, hey, I shouldn't have reacted that way. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I shouldn't have done that way. And sometimes it will also label you as sometimes being a soft person. Some people think they can take advantage of you because they feel like, you know, he's soft or he this, he did. No, it's not soft. I'm mature. I'm mature enough to understand that I could have done some things differently to get a different outcome.
Okay. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Certain events. Well, I say something if nobody else says, and I'm they quiet.
We can't hear you, Rock. You muted, Rock. Go ahead, Rich.
I can't hear you, Rock. I was finna go so everybody quiet, but if you got to say something, you know.
Nah, go ahead, Rich. I was finna go to King, but go ahead.
Okay. I was just finna say about that. I don't know, man. Like you say, accountability is that, you know, that's when you know, the counseling. And to me, I found out when you say you need counseling, you're looking for something. It's a problem you're trying to fix. You know what I'm saying? I can't just say.
Cut you off.
Yes, sir.
The question is therapy, and I know it's not intentional, but me being a clinical psychologist, degree bachelor, counseling and therapy is two different things. So let's focus on therapy. So
therapist,
okay. Okay, I just said counseling. That's my bad.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about
therapy. I know it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, therapy. But like I said, you have to. When you say, let me say, since you said that, when you say that to me, when you say therapy, I think you done had a traumatic experience that you're trying to get over. And when you say counseling, or vice versa, or when you say counseling, it's something I'm trying to fix that I know wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? You go to therapy because I have a condition. I like porn. I'm just using this example. I like porn. So I'm trying to stop watching porn. That's my condition. I'll go to therapy for that. But I'll go to counseling because I'm trying to figure out in my head something else, why I do like it. You know what I'm trying to say? So, because one, you talk to a group and one, you talk to an individual. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like me, I don't know. You know, I'm not a perfection at this because I swear, y'all, I think I'm perfect. Even though I'm wrong, I'm right. So I'm the wrong person for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
So we're going to go to King. King, what's your thoughts? Because we said we got quite a few topics. King, what's your thoughts on it?
Your thoughts on like with the therapy or counseling?
The question again, do you think that we need do you think therapy is good for us? Do you think therapy is good?
Yeah, I think therapy is good. I think it's needed. I'm still more leaning on the TK side of things as a man. You know, I don't know. I guess it's just like maybe it's just individualized for me. Where I grew up, it's just kind of like I don't know. Like I just felt like kind of in what Rich is saying is like when was the first time you felt accountable for yourself, or you just had to make a change. It's like, you know, the only thing I can really think of as far as me is like whenever I'm going through a really, really bad, my first breakup, some shit like that, and I was feeling weird. And I was just like, yo, either you can sit here or you can go outside. One of the two. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I think through that, I've done a lot of self stuff. But as I've gotten older, I do know, I think that I believe therapy is good, even if like even this right here, just having this like, talk with y'all, like hang with
y'all. Let them. They gotta minimize the ad libs.
Even just hanging with y'all on Wednesday nights, a couple of hours and talking about things, it's like letting me know I ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping on some of the things that I would think somebody would tell me I'm tripping about because I got more of a, I guess, a masculine or a manly type of point of view on it. And it's kind of cool to bounce it off others. Not saying we got to be all the same, but I think that's therapy. You know what I'm saying? So, I like I said, when I lean towards TK, it's more so like, and when I look at the guy Van, because I do follow him a little bit and stuff like that, it's kind of like there is something wrong with Van. Like there is something personally wrong with his ticker. He do need that kind of therapy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that doesn't mean that you demean it and like that. It's just like you can kind of look at a nigga and kind of tell, like, yeah, he need to go talk to somebody. He need to sit down, do that kind of thing. And I don't know if I ever wanted to feel like that kind of way, but I just feel like, I guess I feel like Rich. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
That is.
I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get through it. I land my plane.
Big Yoga, what's your thoughts? Do you think therapy is good? Do you think men need therapy?
So what I got from what TK was saying was the fact that, the times that we grew up in, it kind of taught us to self-therapy, like give ourselves self-therapy, deal with our own shit. We don't got to go to nobody and talk to nobody, right? Me personally, I feel like therapy is set for like a person that got demons that they can't handle and it's causing an obstacle in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like relationship issues or shit like that, right? But like growing up in the area that we all grew up in, you know what I'm saying? We was taught, man, men don't show emotions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, just take life punches and then go sit up there, nigga, have your thoughts about it and move on. You know what I'm saying? Which that shit ain't healthy because you bottling up all that shit. But once again, it makes a thing like you a force of habit. It's a habit force. So we're gonna do what we've been doing all our life. And for me to sit up here personally to talk to, like King said, man, this right here, this round table right here, I fucks with it because of that purpose. That's therapy. Yeah. That's a form of therapy, bro. But me just sitting up here and going to talk to a motherfucker, paying them so much amount of money for a certain amount of time to talking my personal shit to a motherfucker that I don't know, that's what makes it hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I got people in my circle I can call. My brother's one of them. You know what I'm saying? If I got some shit on my mind, I need to talk to somebody that's gonna hold me accountable for my shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's other ways to have therapy, just not sitting on the couch vent to a motherfucker you don't know. That's my point. My playing lane.
So I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on it. I went last for a reason. So let's make this clear. I don't know everything, so I'm constantly work in progress. I am a clinical psychologist major. I have a bachelor's. So I learned to study. Psychology is basically the study of how the human mind works, the brain. And to add to that, I've studied ancient Kemetic history. I've studied African history. All the way down to the Hebrew and Arabic and original words, which comes with the original meanings that in most cases are totally different definitions from the Greeks and Romans or the white folks' interpretation of what things mean. So first, let's talk about the word therapy. The word therapy by the Romans and Greeks is totally different from what therapy means by the African people or the original people. Okay. So therapy to the Greeks and the Romans was defined as and dealt with through, in a lot of ways, violent and very unhealthy actions. Like they would electrocute you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Cut you, drown you. So it was very extreme, right? But you got to understand that it made sense to them to therapeutic their people that way because of who they were as people, right? They had evil connotations. So you have to deal with people accordingly to who they are and what's in them. So if there's demons in them and they have this violent mentality, then you have to deal with accordingly, right? That's why you put violent people in prisons, right? You deal with them accordingly. People who are in jail on 23-hour lockdown are mostly very violent criminals. Most of them. So let's go break it down and let's talk about what it meant in the African community or the original people community. Therapy was simply, it just meant support system.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that we have gotten to where we at is because we went from the culture of community to the culture of individualism, which is basically a Neanderthal lifestyle. They're individualists. That's what they are. They are the one, that's why you get the word the nuclear family from. 1 or 2 kids. They don't really care to have too many. We come from what motherfuckers had 10, 12 kids. Most of our grandmas had at least 3, 4 kids. You know what I'm saying? It was community-based, right? Remember the baby showers? Remember when we would move? Do you know, think about this. When we used to move, we didn't even have to really buy much in the house because the family bought it. They bought you a toaster. Somebody bought you this. Somebody bought you some spoons. Somebody bought you some dishes. Now we don't even do that shit. You got to buy all that shit yourself. You got to buy that shit yourself. We damn near can't get shit from our family members for baby showers. Motherfucker won't even buy the kid no damn baby wipes. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to first look at it from the root of it, of what therapy actually is. So do I think we need therapy? Hell yeah. But we don't need white folks' version of therapy. And let's keep it a bean. And I'm telling you this from what I know, being that and having that experience. 75 to 85% of licensed therapists is trash. And you looking at one, and I'm telling you, 75 to 85% of licensed therapists are trash. And you're giving away your money. You want to know why? It's not that they don't necessarily care. It's not that they're not necessarily qualified. You want to know why? Because the laws and the rules and regulations that are put in place don't allow you to actually give them quality therapy. It don't allow you. You got what these HIPAA laws, right? So it minimizes how personal you can get with the client, right? Also, these HIPAA laws, they prevent you from opening up personally to the client.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. How can you truly help a person if you can't personally open up to the person? It makes no fucking sense, right? So if I call Rich and have a talk with Rich, or I call Yoga and say, hey, man, yeah, man, I'm going through something this like that. How can you help me if the rules prevent you from giving me constructive criticism? It makes no fucking sense.
So the black man, our therapy is when we go get a haircut and you sit there and you tell the barber your problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's millions of ways.
I know, I'm just saying that's the way. I'm saying that's the way we've been doing therapy without saying it's therapy. You get a problem, they go talk to his barber. You go hang with the boys under the tree. Y'all sit there playing dominoes. See, that's our therapy. And you know why it works? Because everybody got the same thing: a wife, a family, and life. We're talking about it.
Here's what it is. Because we can use all those examples, right? You're totally right, Rich. But I just really want to get to the bottom of it. So let me tell you what 85% of our job as therapists is. Guess what 85% of our job as therapists is?
To listen.
I'm going to say it again. 85% of the therapist's whole job is to listen. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you how God works. It's called a conscience. In African and ancient Kemetic history, you want to know what the Bible is what's considered the Bible? It's your conscience. So the reason why majority of a therapist's job is to listen is because guess what? I'm gonna fuck y'all up. It's not that you don't know. You already know the answer to your problem.
You damn right. 100%.
When a person come in, they already know the answer to their problems. You want to know what our job as the client is? I mean, as the therapist is, to just help you realize that. That's it. It's just simply, or you wouldn't believe this.
I believe it.
Just acknowledge that you have the answer. Ain't that mind blowing? You already know the answer.
Look,
Can't know why he got a crack problem.
Yeah.
Alcoholic know why he got a drinking problem.
Yeah.
Because look, right?
But
accountability. Accountability.
And that's another reason for the therapist is to help you find that accountability and embrace it. See, the goal is not to embarrass you. And that's why a lot of people even end up with the problem in the first place and need therapy, because the world embarrasses you for your problem. Mm-hmm. But the therapist, which don't have to be the counselor, because if you really had a true support system, you never had to touch a counselor or a therapist in the first goddamn place.
Nope.
And then look, when you went there talking to the therapist, Rock, to piggyback off what you just said, it's funny as fuck. Yeah. I've never been a therapy person, right? Yeah. But a lot of shit that I see, right, with like on movies and all that kind of goofy shit, right? When you sit up there and you tell a therapist your problem, what's their first question to you? Well, how does that make you feel? The fuck out of here, man.
But hold on, but Yogi, hold on. You gotta understand how important that question is. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing. Think about this. Think about the things that goes on in our mind that people are afraid to tell people about. I'm gonna really go deep with this shit to understand you, to help you understand. Okay, so one day my professor, right, and he's a 32-year counselor, Army veteran and everything, right? So this is what happened. So first day of class, he asked everybody one by one. He said, why do you think you would be a good counselor or therapist? You had one person said, oh, because I'm a former drug addict and I understand what it's like and what it goes through, and I feel I could be a good asset to them to help them get their life right. And then somebody else, and this true story, he asked another classmate, why do you think you'd be a good counselor? Oh, because I ain't never did drugs, and so I can teach them on how to be strong and not have to do it and how to be sober. Asked another person, oh, because I have kids and my experience is this and my experience is that. Asked another person, and this is a true story. This I know was meant for me. They all gave the teacher their qualifications. Now watch this shit, and I'll put this on God. I'll put this on my son. Show me what type of person I am, right? He got to me. You know what when he asked me that, guess what I told him? I say, shit, I don't know.
That's the honest answer.
Bust out laughing. And guess what he said after that? He said,
you the one.
To everyone that gave the answer that you qualified, he say, I'm telling you right now, you better change because you're not going to make it. He said, Mr. Kibble, he say, he got the best chance to be a good
one. You the one.
I don't fucking know shit. I'm like, you think about it. You're asking me, why would I be a good counselor?
How the fuck I'm supposed to know?
How the fuck I'm supposed to know? And before he got to me, he asked another student, why you think you like, because and I'm a Christian, all that stuff like that. So he said, okay, so you're a Christian, He said, so how you gonna counsel a Muslim then? He said, what kind of counselor you gonna be? He say, so basically you're gonna be a bias counselor. And he say, it's okay. Because guess what? If y'all look up counselors in your area, they're gonna tell you, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a this, I'm a that. They are purposely catering to that demographic. Guess what? How can you be true to your professionalism if you're pandering? You're promoting panderism. And it's okay because you have that, hey, to each his own, to each his lane. But here's the kicker. He then asked, he said, how would you feel if, he said, how would you feel about counseling a rapist or a child molester? And guess what most of their responses was? It was negative energy.
Yeah.
And guess what he said? He said, again, y'all might as well drop the class. Guess what he said? He said, because you want to know what the true essence of counseling is? He said, it's not about misjudging. He said, your job as a counselor is to gain understanding. He said, gaining understanding is your research to help create and find solutions to pass down to other future counselors so we can find ways to change people or prevent people from becoming who they became. And so most of y'all are right. We do need therapy, but we don't need the European concept of therapy. We need the original man concept of therapy. It starts with tribalism and being a village in the community. You know what I'm saying? You know, we live in a world where people can't even call their own friends. Some people can't even call their own mom or daddy for advice. That's how bad it is. You know what I'm saying? Because kids will know if their parents qualified at a certain age. Like, man, I can't call mom or dad about this shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I agree with it. And as far as Van, he really exposed it. He weird to me.
Yeah.
He different.
Weird as shit. And I'm gonna tell you something. He couldn't have been talking to me like that on that panel.
You don't see.
With his ass.
Yeah, he calling me weak and shit. Boy, you got me fucked up. Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cowboy hat. That's cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Cowboy
I
hat.
would have called him out. I don't know who the fuck you talking to.
Black.
We know you would have rocked.
Oh.
I would have said, I'm gonna give you some therapy.
We know you would have rocked. You be giving Rich therapy every week.
Listen. Hey, I need therapy. I need Jesus and Allah. I need it all.
That's why you fucked up now.
Definitely know that, Rich.
I know it. Bless my heart.
That's why you fucked up. You motherfuckers got
Bless my heart.
You ain't gotta tell us that, nigga. We know.
But listen, and the crazy, right here, Rich. And you know the crazy, and the crazy part about it, I know better. That's the fucked up part about
accountability. Accountability.
But I'm perfect. So I have none. I'm perfect. You know.
Let's see what Ty. Come on, y'all. Let's see what Ty. She back.
Ty.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on everything?
I mean, from your breakdown, I definitely agree. I do think that therapy is needed in the Black community, especially with Black men, because you guys are so resistant to it. My main argument was going to be, because all of you kept saying, like, we don't need this, that's for people who are really traumatized and messed up. The entire Black community is traumatized and messed up. We are born into trauma. So how do you think you don't need guidance from an outside perspective? That's just my whole thing. I feel I had a father who was so against therapy, but he needed it so bad. Even though he could be accountable for his actions, he still decided to do things or had reactions to things that were not fitting of him. And it was because he never worked on the things that he needed to work on. So I am an advocate for therapy, especially.
So let me ask you this, TK.
Thank you.
What when you I guess what I'm trying to say is this. So let me ask you this. When you say you offer therapy, what type of therapy? Because I don't know if you had heard me.
I heard you.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. Because it starts with, it starts with family. We shouldn't, and I know it's hard, it's easy to say that because of what we've been through, what I'm about to say. But we shouldn't even be at the point to where we have to go to a stranger for therapy.
But look at our communities. You're talking about we should be able to go to families, but in the same breath, you just stated that there are people that can't even reach out to their parents for assistance. We don't even have communities anymore where they feed or, like pour into you.
Yeah.
So that's an old mindset, right? We're trying to bring, like you stated earlier, you're trying to bring a dream into our reality when that's not our reality right now. Unfortunately, our community is so broken and we are so far away from our traditions that we now have to go and find a stranger that we feel we align with. And I don't think you should go with the first therapist that's out there. I do think it's good for Black men to have Black male therapists or Black women, someone who looks like you, who understands your struggle to a certain degree. I think that's extremely important. But I just don't think we have the resources, the qualified people, or people who actually care enough about you.
Yeah. You know what?
Therapy.
I can ask you a question, Ty. Why did you say men needed therapy more than women? Why you say especially Black men? I'm not gonna let that make it. Y'all know I ain't gonna let that make it. I ain't gonna let
that
make
answer
it.
the
I
question.
can't let that. You said especially Black men. You don't think women need a little more than men?
Listen, Rich. I said that because Black women are more open to therapy. We will actually go to therapy.
I said that.
That's what I'm saying. Black men are extremely resistant to therapy. It seems like therapy and the doctor. It's you don't want to do it, and it's understandable. But there are times when you need it to help you grow, to prosper, for us to get to that point where your children can look to you for guidance instead of going to the stranger. You then have to work on yourself first. And I think it's a little bit of ego, like Yogi was stating. It's the money aspect of it. So it's the fight between your logical and your ego that keeps you from wanting to get more help from someone who you don't know. It's like, how could this person who doesn't know me, like Quality said, give me help in my life? But like,
that's why you
find a good therapist, they will be able to do so. They'll help you realize the problems in yourself without them ever having to say anything to you.
So let me respond to that, Ty. So I had actually asked that question for a reason. It was a 2-part question. The reason why I asked that, because what I've noticed that has changed and has got us to the point where we quote unquote need therapy, because it got to a point in our culture to where women started having kids and they wouldn't even allow they daddy to listen to them, right? In other words, it got to the point to where can't nobody tell women about their kids. We can't tell them nothing. Can't whoop them. We, they don't want nobody to tell them nothing about their kid or nothing. And I'm saying this right because I'm a former boxer and I'm a boxing coach. So I've been working in the community for over 15 years, just as far as the boxing, right? And so, and in the boxing community alone, we've saved thousands, hundreds of thousands of men's lives over decades, right? Like before me. And one of the hardest challenges when it comes to helping young men specifically is getting through their mother.
Mm-hmm. And that's specifically for single, right? Like single mothers raising their sons.
Well, it's like you can't.
I agree.
Like, for example, I've had women where how much it is this much. I can't afford that. But you got them some $200 Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
What's more important? The shoes on his feet looking good, or this man gaining some discipline so he can know how to control his emotions when he encounters situations in life, so he can know how to handle them.
Right. That is more.
But and so
I think
we kind of got to give a little bit of accountability to that point.
No. I agree.
Accountability.
I agree 100%. I do agree with that. I feel that it goes back to what I stated earlier, where women, or we can just talk about Black women, right? But I think it's a Black culture thing. Black women value things, right? And when you are raising a child on your own, especially boys, for some reason, they tend to want them to look like they have it all together, right? They even, to a certain degree, will build them into the man that they would have wanted, right? I'm going to mirror you as the man that I would have wanted in my life had I had that opportunity. And unfortunately, because of that, not only are they doing that, she put value on those shoes because she felt those shoes would be more valuable on his day-to-day because it's going to make him look good. Opposed to her thinking about how he's going to deal with the stresses of life. But that also goes back to what I was stating earlier. She could only think that far because she doesn't have a mindset of a man, right? We don't know the struggles that you guys encounter. It's because of platforms like this that we are now more open, and we are really getting to the point where we can start to empathize at the very least and try to understand the experiences that men have. We don't know that. We're not men. And that's the downfall, right? When you're having that, you have to let someone in, but there are a lot of women that don't. And that's why we have so many, you know, what we call sassy men now.
Dumb ass niggas.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what's a good take, Ty. Good take. Ty cooking tonight, man. Let me put Ty back up by me. Too pretty. I gotta put the pretty lady by me. Now I ain't flirting with the Ty. I'm married now. Don't think I'm flirting with your ass.
Wait a second. I was just next to you. I don't meet. Okay, don't worry about it. Come on, man.
I told y'all.
Come on, man.
God damn. There you go. God damn.
Hey, Ty.
You gonna move me?
Ty, I already told y'all I was.
Hey, Mother said, "Don't put me by no ugly ass Rick."
Yeah, man. What you doing, man? What you doing?
Me and her, you see the two pretty people in the middle. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't happy. I'm pretty. I'm not happy.
Boy,
I'm pretty.
Boy, you look. I think you Travis Hunter, man.
You see? Hey, that's my boy. He got the check. Yes, sir. We gonna that little funny dance he was doing with his mouth open. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing.
Hey, Rich, don't do that no more.
So we're gonna go to the next topic, y'all. All right, mute your phones for editing purposes.
Sad, like it's like that, Keisha. Fuck dudes. She said that shit from the gut, and you hear all the women in the back cheering that shit on, and it's crazy that that's where we at right now in society between black men and black women. Like, listen to this shit.
Fellas, where you at? Fuck y'all. Sincerely.
Like, you hear how hard she said that shit? She meant that shit. And that's how a lot of women out here is feeling these days. And that's all I hear is, oh, y'all hate black women. And they feeling the same way, like, fuck y'all, fuck dudes. And it's like, I feel like R&B music is damn near like the hip hop, where it's all toxic. It's some good love songs out there, but it's a lot of hate you songs. I hate you. You fucked up my life. And that's what's in heavy rotation, just the toxic shit. And me watching her is like, yo, all I can see is a woman that's not healed. Her life played out in front of all our eyes for years. Or her relationships played out right in front of our eyes for years. And I always said, damn, she always move on fast. She break up, she in another relationship. And then for you to come out and say, fuck dudes like that, you really meant that? And it's like, damn, do you really believe that all the dudes you fuck with was the problem? Like, you never, is no accountability. You wasn't never the problem. And you ain't never taken no time to assess and look at yourself and say, maybe I could be the problem out of all these relationships. It keep ending the same way. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's me. You understand? Let me take some time to reflect on myself. But instead, you come out and say, fuck dudes. Like they all did you wrong. You understand? And a lot of women do that, and a lot of dudes do that. Like they'll break up and then jump in another relationship, and then when it go wrong, yo, fuck her. Yo, this thing, yo, she did. Nah, bro, you ain't even get over your last relationship. You bringing baggage in a new relationship, and the whole time you might have been a toxic one, not her. But you not taking time to reflect on yourself, and that's what I see with her. But it's fucked up that a lot of women feel this way, and between black men and black women, and just to hear the women cheer for that shit, how hard she said.
All right, so that was Keisha Cole. She basically, as y'all could see, she was doing a show and she asked why all the men had, and she said, "Fuck y'all," sincerely. So let me add some context to this, right? Because I mean, of course, you can speak on her, you can say what you want about her, but I want us to also speak on it from a general standpoint too, as well, if you can. Let me say this first. And I want to know how you think about, I want to know what you think about what I said, Ty, what I'm about to say. Let me say this for clarity and the people in YouTube land. Just in case they might get it confused. When rappers back in the day was like, fuck these hoes, you know what I'm saying? Or
fuck bitch, get money.
Fuck this bitch. I have to say this because it's not the same as when these women are saying fuck these men. It's totally different. And here's what I mean. When we said fuck these hoes, we were specifically talking about hoes. Not wives, not women, not ladies.
Yes,
we
Lord.
wasn't. We
Yes,
were
Lord.
talking about hoes. That's a specific that's a specific demographic. When we were talking about bitches, we were talking about bitches. Not wives, not ladies, not classy girls, not good girls.
Our mom.
You see what I'm saying? But when these women are saying fuck me, and they're talking about us all across the fucking board. Everybody. The educated nigga, the rich nigga, the broke nigga, the 9-to-5 nigga, the sorry nigga, the good nigga. They talking about all us. So with that being said, Ty, with that little education, what's your thoughts?
I want to hear this.
I want to hear it too.
First of all,
say fuck them niggas, Ty. Say fuck them niggas, Ty.
Education there on what men meant when they said those specific words. But I honestly feel like nowadays I kind of agree. I'll have to say this first and foremost. I'm tired of the like black man against black woman argument. I think it's extremely stupid. You know, to think that we could live without one or the other, whatever. Like it's just dumb. You know, the majority of us still date us. We still deal with us on a day-to-day basis. So this is really an argument for social media and what's constantly being projected out there. I know we said we're going to go general. I want to go specific and then I'll go general. Specifically with Keisha Cole, okay?
Oh, Lord.
I feel that she put herself in this situation, unfortunately, all right? Because like he stated, she does jump from relationship to relationship, and then also the man keep getting younger. And I don't understand how as she ages and becomes more mature as she should be becoming, maybe she's not, how she thinks a man that is younger is going to give her something that someone her age or older couldn't give her. All right. How do you think that he's going to be at the mature level to take on you and your children, to take on the baggage that you come with and want to hold that? Why would he want to hold that? If anything, she should have understood that you are here for a good time, not a long time. And you can't be upset when your time ends, right? We all got to clock out at some point. And because of the man that you're choosing, you have a clock out time. And she hasn't gotten outside of that. Now, going general, I feel that that's also the problem with a lot of women. Like the man stated, I can, for one, say that a lot of women do not take accountability well at all, right? And it takes, unfortunately, for another woman to finally be like, nah, sis, you're wrong. You're the toxic one. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. Or let's not even think about everything that the man is doing. Let's just focus on how you can become better and focus on yourself And then you can grow from there. But even then you'll get shut down. I've gotten in plenty of arguments with women, or for me, it was a debate. For them, it's an argument. Just trying to hold them accountable to something that they stated that they did, right? So I think that is an issue within our community when it comes to our women, is them holding themselves accountable, giving themselves time to heal instead of jumping from one person to the next. And like I stated, when it comes to people who constantly, like Michelle A, constantly attracting someone who was going to abuse her, if you do not heal that part of you that is broken, that had you in that relationship to begin with, the reason why it ended is going to be the same reason the next relationship ends. All you're changing is a face, but you're getting the same energy. You're getting the same person, because we don't realize we usually date people that are like us. You date people that are a reflection of you. So you are going to attract what you are. And if you want something different, then you have to become something different. And that's something a lot of women, especially Black women and Black men, but I'm specifically talking about Black women right now, struggle with. Is that I can fix everything aesthetically and look the bomb, but inside you trash. Inside you have no accountability. Inside you can't hold a conversation. You can't say I'm sorry. You can't have a real conversation to talk through issues. Instead, you will want to argue. You don't even care about his perspective. You just want to be correct. You just want him to say you're right. And that's things we have to move past. If we really want to get back to the point where we can have real families and real communities, then honestly, we have to work on those things. And that's my full perspective on that. I feel bad for Keisha Cole. I really think she needs to grow up. She's way too old to still be acting like she is 21 years old. You're not, sis. You have to grow up. And you got to get your life together. And then maybe you'll find your person. And if not, that's okay too. Figure out you. Love you. I don't think she loves her. And that's the problem.
Talk your shit.
I don't feel sorry for her though. You know what? Here's my thing. I think people deserve what they ask for.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do. And I guess I know, you know, I come from a militant background. My grandfather.
Oh, me too.
That's why your mindset like that. You in the no excuse type of person.
I was born on a naval base.
Okay, that's cool. My grandfather, he was a military veteran, two-time war veteran, and he was also affiliated with the Black Panthers. So my dad was a preacher, so I had a lot of sternness. Right then, my mama was hard on me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was a single parent for a long time before she got married. But you know that, yeah. So, but my take on it is this, man: you get what you ask for, you know, and. This is what I want to ask too, and I guess I'll go to Yogi. Yogi, he said something about giving yourself time after a relationship to quote unquote heal or not. So let me ask you your thoughts on that. Me personally, I don't think that people should force time on love, because you know, I think that's one of the problems. I think that's a bad thing, short or long term, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's why: because I've met a female or two where I met them and they was like, you know, they see I'm cool to this or whatever, they was feeling me, but they would be like, oh, I'm focused on this or that. I ain't really trying to, you know. And I already know it's one or two things. Either they really not interested, to be honest with you. But there are some women who might be interested, but they just so hard on themselves, because you got to think women can be selfish to where they punish themselves. And they be like, yeah, I'm focused on me and stuff like that, right? You know what I told a woman one time? And she was like, yeah, I ain't ready to be in a relationship or this or that or whatever and all that. And it had nothing to do with necessarily healing, but even still, this is what I told her, and it changed her thought process. I said, you know what? I said, you know, that's a curse. I said, you know, that's going against God's divine power. She was like, what you mean? She was like, if I don't want to be in a relationship right now because I'm focused on this or that. I said, you're totally right. I said, you have that right. But I said, you want to know the problem with that? I say, I have to look at it as a red flag when you think you can tell God when to bless you with somebody to be in your life for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know how arrogant you have to subconsciously and unknowingly arrogant you got to be to tell God, "Hey God, I'm a hold off on you on my soulmate," and then you come back, "Hey God, I'm ready now." God, who the fuck is you?
You want to make God laugh?
Shit, tell him what you gonna do, huh?
How
you gonna tell me when to bless you with what you need? But again, I'm always thinking from a psychological perspective.
And a lot of them be having them motherfuckers that can make their soulmates, but they fuck over. First off, I want to say this: Keisha Cole is too big of an age to say fuck them niggas up there with a diaper on, sponsored by Huggies. Let's just get that out the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That don't make no goddamn sense.
Second of all, this right, you asked me the question about healing. I don't think there's nothing wrong with breaking up with someone and healing, because if you don't give yourself that time to heal, whoever you deal with, you're gonna bring the demons from your last relationship into that one, which will make it doomed from the fucking start, right? I speak on that shit from experience. You know what I'm saying? Like a person can, like, one person can come in stable minded, ready for whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got that one person that come in. Say if you deal with a female that come in and she used to niggas cheating on her, but she gonna reflect that shit on you. Like, you can't even step outside and be like, "Ah, you fucking." Nobody want to hear that shit, man. So listen, YouTube land, it is okay to sit back and chill and heal. I'm gonna tell you what people's problem is. They scared to be by their fucking self. If you know you and discover you, man, hey bro, it ain't nothing wrong with being by yourself for a little bit. And then when you get that clarity of some shit, you're gonna learn who to fuck with and who not to fuck with. You're gonna have a sense of understanding about yourself. What you gonna do, what you not gonna do, what you gonna tolerate, what the fuck you're not gonna tolerate. You only get them perspectives about yourself when you by your fucking self. Hence the healing.
You know what? Let me give you a little pushback on it, right? Just to add up context, right? So I agree with you from the perspective of a person having a level of selfishness. So I agree with you, but I agree with it from the perspective of a person having a level of selfishness, right? Here's why. Because if, let's say, and I ain't gonna lie, this ain't the best analogy, but let's say I buy a lemon and it break down on me, but then I end up getting blessed, I get a better job, and I'm not able to get a better car, right? So basically the lemon didn't treat me right? And then I get to the point to where I'm able to get a better car, but my whole thing is this. Okay, so let's say I get the better job 2 months from now. Do I force myself to wait and say, well, let me heal from getting this bullshit ass lemon, right? To getting this new car. Like I say, it's not the best analogy, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is this. Maybe sometimes we just too selfish enough to make the sound choice to just become a better version of ourselves to somebody, instead of letting our inner child control the blessing that God gave by putting somebody better for us in our life. Because, you know, there's this saying I tell people all the time. And I'm going to tell you, and this is from a personal experience too. It's going to come a point in your life where you got to make a choice. If you don't kill that child inside you, that child gonna kill you. At some point, you gotta let that little boy die. At some point, you gotta let that little girl die. Because if not, it's gonna be turmoil your whole life. Whoever you fuck with. Because the reason I say that is because you got to think about this. People bring dramas into a relationship that happened before they was even old enough to be in a relationship. What about that? Right? So when you really think about this, in life, it's a constantly cut wound heal process. It really never ends. So it's like at some point we got to be able to look at it from the perspective of we gotta just band-aid that shit up and keep it moving. You know, I'm gonna give another example. If I'm in a car accident and I make it out and I'm good, I'm what about it? Am I gonna stop driving?
No. That's what I'm finna say.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna be like, you ain't gonna be like, fuck that shit. I ain't driving no more shit. I'm gonna get hit again. For the rest
let me piggyback off you because I'm with you. I'm with you, Rock. I'm kind of with Rock on this, and that's crazy because if I feel I didn't do nothing bad in the relationship and she messed up, why should I wait and I'm ready? I don't feel I gotta wait and I'm ready. I didn't do nothing. That was her wanted. She wasn't happy because that's the main thing. She a female. They first thing is I'm not happy, and then you can't make them happy. I don't care what you say, what you do. I wrote a book on that, and it's out. Now, every man needs 3 women, but you can't make them happy. So that's another thing. Like Keisha saying, fuck all men. That's personal shit. That's just you. You ain't shit pussy, and you looking for little boys, and you don't want a man. Because when you get a man, it's certain shit you gonna do, and you ain't gonna wear them fucking shorts with that fake ass hanging out, and you got a man. Diaper. So we know you singing. Thank you, sir. So I'm just saying, it's certain shit that you could tell when a woman don't have a man or ain't been around a man because she'll say and do certain stuff, you know, and that's just what it is. And like she said, I know women don't like you. You one of us now because you say women don't hold accountability. You on my side. I can't say nothing. I'm with you. I'm out. Hey, when the women said it hit different than when we said because they think we picking. But really, that's all we said because men, we not hard. And like Rock is a big statistic guy, and he'll tell you if he look at statistics, 85% of the men don't leave. The women are not happy and they want to leave because what? Men gonna stand on it, right or wrong, true or false. That's my 100%. Bitch. She cheated on me. I'm here, and that's what it is because that's what we built for. We built for the long haul, and they built for something different. And like she said, find somebody you could communicate with. You happy? Y'all got the same goals. You can build. You see what I'm saying? Because first of all, when you first start dating, you're looking at attraction. Then you're looking at sex, and then you do this. Once that's gone, how many girls or guys you done been with in the past, and y'all don't have nothing in common but that moment. We was in the club, it was good. We went home, I saw it. That next day and that Monday, it ain't the same. It's like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Why we here? And that's sad because okay, go ahead.
So I got a question for you, right?
Okay.
When you just took your take in the earlier, you say you and Rock agree on the fact that you want to fucked up in a relationship, so why you gotta wait, right? But you don't think taking that time to yourself and taking if you ain't in a part that where you gotta heal, right? You don't gotta sit up here and heal from shit. But it's a moment of reflection. What attracted you to that ancient person that you just got out of?
Exactly.
You feel me? You gotta realize.
Hold on, Rich. Let me answer that. Hold on, Rich. Let me answer, please. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. So, Yogi, here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I don't agree with you. What I'm saying is that we got to be careful and understand that when we force that, we're playing God. That's what I'm saying. Let me give you an example. I'm going to use me again. And I don't know, maybe it's just meant for me to give my wife a shout out today. All right. Yeah. So let me explain something to you. And Rich know this.
Okay, go ahead.
Rich know this. Okay. So I was in a relationship with a woman off and on for 10 years. Right. And the reason why that was one of the worst heartbreaks for me, and you talking about I'm known for leaving the motherfucker. Oh, I'm gonna leave her. Oh, what? Man,
you keep your
shoes on my nerves, I'll leave. I'm like, shit, you know. And the minute you give me any inclination that you ain't gonna give, that you not giving me peace, that's just how I was because, and not to be egotistic, I always felt like I was that man. I'm 6'2", 180 with 8
Yeah, shit.
K-I-B-B-L-E.
I'm just being honest. So what happened is, but as I grow and mature, this girl that I end up with, what made me even put up with the shit I put up with for so long, it wasn't that I was being too naive. For one, she was a fake good girl. See, I ain't never fell for a hoe.
Yeah.
See, we get fucked up about them fake good girls. Let's get that shit straight. It's a difference. They good actors. They cosplaying, right? So, but guess what made me put up with the shit that I had put up for so long? Want to know why? Because I was becoming the best version of me. So it was a challenge to myself. It wasn't even me being dumb enough to put up with her shit, but I was becoming the best version of me, and we competitive. I just refused to lose, and I didn't want to treat her like I did everybody. I'm like, shit, we break up. I don't give a fuck. I'll find another one. But guess what? It didn't work, and so after that, I told myself I'll never date a woman with kids no more. I told myself I'll never get married again. I had came to the conclusion that I would never get married. Right? Run your bag up, stack your bread, get another degree. Yeah. And hey, when you're horny, find a friend, make sure she ain't got no STDs, we do our thing. Right? But let me tell you what happened. But I ain't God. I end up meeting my wife. Right? And you want to know what she ended up telling me one day? She say, "You gonna be my husband."
She told you?
This is my wife sitting here and told me. She straight bold. Say, she Nigerian, said, "You going to be my husband." I was on pause. I'm like, do she not know I'm never gonna get married? I don't know what.
Change your whole shit up, huh?
But yeah.
Guess what?
You married.
That's what.
And hold on, and let me add to that, because a lot of people married. I'm happily married.
Yeah. See?
You know what I'm talking about? And so my point is this. I was in that mind state, yoga, where, man, I'm just focused on me, man. I'm gonna do me, man. I ain't, man, fuck that shit. Man, my wife said something else.
You know, sometimes we don't know how to choose, y'all.
We don't.
We choose what we like instead of what we need. And sometimes and what happened in life is, like you, Rock, your wife will come to you and let you know, this is my job. I'm supposed to be your wife. You don't even know this yet. So I'm just letting you know that I know what my job is. And that's crazy. You'll hear women tell you that. They'll be like, I'm gonna be your wife. You like, huh? Yeah. But because now, and I learned this, we don't do no choosing. When a woman see you, she know off the muscle. She gonna talk to you. If she gonna sleep with you, she know everything.
Everything. She done already made up in her mind.
All you can do is talk yourself. You can talk yourself out of it. You can talk yourself more in it. But me, the best advice is just be quiet and let her wonder. She gonna paint the man she wants you to be in her mind. Look at her. She laughing. You can fuck that up by talking or moving or doing anything. But she gonna paint when she see him. Okay, he got this.
Now,
this. Okay, it's on. All you have to do. We think we pimping. We ain't doing none of that. Them girls choose.
I got some advice for you. You might know this. I want you to tell your friends, single female friends, and I want to tell all the people, the woman in YouTube land. Now, I'm not a religious person, but that Bible is inserts from ancient Kemetic texts. So it's been totally whitewashed. So it's a saying. The truth, the lie's just the truth bending. So that's how I look at it. So it is truth in the Bible. So let me take from this. You want to know one of the mistakes that a lot of women make? So I noticed this trend. I would notice this, and I used to get asked this all the time. And you want to know what one of the first questions a woman would ask me? What you looking for? You know what I would tell a woman? I say, I'm not looking for nothing. I said, the only thing that a man should be looking for is his goals and his purpose in life. I said, a woman kids, money, all that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, she didn't agree. I said, well, shit, you gonna forever be single. She was like, I ain't looking for no man. I said, well, I said, you a Christian, you a religious? She said, yeah. I said, well, your Bible tell you supposed to look for a man. And then she was like, well, I said, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing. So here she goes, she tried on. Well, see, you prove my point. I said, nah. I said, you're not hearing the words. He who finds a good wife finds a good thing. Not he
not
who
a woman. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me cook. Let me cook. So this is what I told her. I say, if I'm looking for something, that means I've made the sound decision to go and hunt this, look for this. I said, if I find something, that's like me going out the grocery store and I look on the ground and I find $100. I say a man's job is to put himself out there. My job is to, hey, you better look in the sky. That you see my back signal, huh? I'm putting it out there. Now, if you don't reciprocate, right? And it changed her mindset. And to this day, she married. To this day, she married. I ain't never been in a relationship with a woman that didn't come at me. Never.
Listen.
I ain't never been with a woman where I chased. Man, she chased me. But here's the thing, though. Now, let me add to that, though. To you men out there. My boy Rich just said it. Get with the person you need, not the person you want. And that's y'all goddamn problem.
Can I expound? Can I
I'm a
expound
victim of that shit. I'm gonna be real.
Listen, I can feel Keisha Cole, and I'm gonna be the devil advocate. Cause for me, I used to date a younger demographic than what I was. Not no babies, but younger. And you know what? I thought I was doing something. And guess what happened? I ran into a lady. I ran into a real lady. And you know what she told me? She said, you used to them little girls. And I was like, what you talking about? She told me, you used to little girls, I can tell. I said, why? She said, I could just tell. And you know what I did? I reflected, looked at myself and say, how the hell, what she mean? And I did. The shit I would do was cater for the younger demographic. She was a woman. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Let's do this. Let's go listen to live music. Let's do this. She grew me up to something that I wasn't even ready for, that I didn't know. I thought I was, like Keisha Cole. She think the young guys are the way until she read a man. And a man gonna bring her into womanhood and say, hey, this is what you want. Because she tried it. But I'm just saying you can grow up when you meet somebody, because you dipping in the wrong pool like me. You could think, hey, what's wrong with these ladies? These ain't ladies. These girls, their mentality ain't. And I was doing it because I didn't want the responsibility to be a man. I didn't want that. I didn't want her to ask me for nothing or do nothing. I want to take you to get you a little Jack in the Box on McDonald's, a Whataburger on the way in, and we do what we do, and I see you at the club. I'm cool. I didn't want the responsibility. So I understood why I said that until I met a woman and she told me and showed me my flaws and say, hey, you a man. You need this, you need that. And I learned because she showed me, like, hey, your clothes dirty, you need to wash. Let me wash them. You knew she showed what a woman was. I was like, damn, this is what this shit is. And I learned. I'm just saying, it grew me up, but I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought I knew.
Yeah. Now let me add to that, right? And so, and I understand totally what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And that's personal experience, and things are different for everybody. So let me say this: I also, because this has been a topic lately too about age difference and stuff like that.
Yes.
Let's keep this in mind. We do live in the bubble. America lives in the bubble, and so we are so used to the culture that we living in, to where we can automatically, make that blanket statement about like young woman, this and that, right? Well, understand this. The culture wasn't always like this, right? In age, and I'm saying as far as adults is concerned, age ain't nothing but a number, because guess what? I done dealt with some 40-year-old immature ass woman.
Yeah.
And some woman in their late 20s or mid-20s that was very mature. My wife is way younger than me. And she is mature, but guess what? Her culture raised her like that. See, my wife was a wife before I met her.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing.
Did her culture raise her to be a wife?
Exactly.
A lot of these women, they
my wife's
single.
Nigerian, so
yeah. So a lot of them in the black culture that you say is trash rock, they're raising their daughters to be single. And I watched one of my child's mother raise my daughter to be single, and I told her, "You're gonna be single forever with that attitude," and she didn't believe me, and she is still single, and she like, "Daddy, you said that." I'm just telling you what a man not gonna take, because once I became to a man, I understood that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't know, like I say, in that age different rock, you right about that. Because I done met a 25-year-old grown man and a 50-year-old child.
Yes.
I'm talking about a nigga was 50 and was childish as hell. And I met a 25-year-old. He was growner than me. I'm like, okay, I see where your head at. But that's just how I go. And like I say, with the dating, I was dating young because I felt I wanted to raise them up the way I wanted them. I get a young, I could train them. But guess what? When I met a woman, she say, "You don't train a woman." I'm a woman. You don't have to train me. I'm a woman. I know what a woman supposed to do for a man. And I didn't know that because I'm so used to trying to tell them. When you get that, you'll understand, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be.
And that's why I have made it, I let it known.
And you could
thing too,
and you could be a man then.
Because my wife, she was already trained
to
be a wife from inception. You know what I'm saying? My wife know how to cook full course meals, all that, but I done met chicks in their 30s and 40s and they don't even know how to cook. I'm like, oh Lord. And they be talking with a 6-figure man. You can't even fix a 6-figure man no food.
See, you gonna make them some noodles.
See,
man, yo.
I remember I had a young chick at my house.
Hold on. Let Yogi cook.
Okay, go ahead, Yogi.
It's piggyback off something Rich said, man. These women out here, man, they raising their daughters to be single and be raising the boys to be bum ass niggas.
Yes, sir.
It all fits together. You know what I'm saying? But when
I told my daughter,
hold on, Rich, let him cook.
Okay. When you're dealing with a certain age group of, you know what I'm saying, of people, you know what I'm saying, it makes it hard out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thinking and mentality. And then what I've been noticing personally is women in my age bracket think like these young females out here. And that's the crazy part about it, bro. That's the craziest part about it. Like, you wasn't even raised like that, bro. And you coming at me like, and see me personally, I block a motherfucker with quicks. I'm cool. I'm cool on you, man. Go enjoy your day, love. I'm good. That's it. That's all.
See, I was saying that, Yogi, these women, while they trying to teach the women that they don't need a man, they need to teach them how to make cornbread. You understand what I'm saying?
You feel?
I had a young broad. Man, I had a young broad in my house say, "I'm gonna cook for you." She cooked for me one time, Yogi. Ain't gonna bring me some white bread. I said, "You don't know how to make cornbread?" She said, "Nah." I said, "You ain't gonna be here long." She said, "Oh, that's that old people stuff." I said, "Well, shit, I like cornbread. Mine, I don't like no goddamn jiffy. I'm talking about some real cornbread." You see, they don't teach that no more. My grandma used to have them girls in there cooking. You go make them men a plate. Go make every man in their plate. You cook. They don't do that no more. They don't do that no more.
So many resources.
But we don't have no grandmas no more.
Go ahead, Ty.
Go ahead, Ty.
Y'all mute y'all mics. Okay.
All right.
Just to let y'all know, and then I'm gonna have to jump after this, y'all, because I got.
Yeah, we finna end the show after you.
Oh, okay. I gotta go
to bed.
But I grew up in a household where my grandmother didn't cook from scratch. Her mother never taught her how to do so. Okay. And then so she, like, her main meals was like spaghettis, simple things, stuff like that. My mom she did a lot of box cooking. Like, honestly, not until I went to high school and saw my friend's family cook, I didn't know that you pick greens. My friend asked me one day, like, we came in the kitchen, and she was like, "Come help me pick these greens." And I was like, "What, you gonna pick which can you want to use?" Because we ate glory greens. That's all I knew. I literally saw my friend's aunt bake bread from scratch. I was fascinated. I stood in the kitchen the entire time. So because of that, I'm the first woman and my family to want to do all of that. I cook most of the food on Thanksgiving. I cook from scratch. Like, and sadly enough, I get teased for it sometimes. Like, here comes Taia with all her fresh ingredients. It's like, well, you're supposed to cook like this. But I'm just saying, my lack of knowledge and education in that department didn't keep me from learning, right? Whether it was from outside experience or from me doing my own research. We have so many tools now. All you have to do is Google, how do I make cornbread from scratch? It'll give you all the recipe, all the ingredients. Go get it, make it, follow it. It's so simple. It's like there is no want or need there. That's where the problem lies. It's not their lack of skills, because you can always learn a new skill, right? It's the lack of wanting to do it at all. If you have no urge to want to please, to want to serve, to want to do better, then you're just not going to do it. And that's all it really comes down to. I don't think it has anything to do with our grandmothers, because like I stated, my grandmother, you know, she okay cook. But when I cook, she come eat my food. I don't eat her.
That's facts, man. And we're gonna end it on that note. At the end of the day, you totally right. It's no room for excuses. We living in a world where, I mean, deep seek chat GBT will tell you how to do something. It's like ain't no more excuses, you know. And as much as we have, you know, a lot of things and systems and stuff that's quote unquote making it more challenging, we can get above it. We can get above it, y'all. I want to thank everybody for coming on the show. Ty, let me tell you something. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I think we might break the threshold, you know, as far as this show. I want to thank you, and I'm honored. We're honored for having you on here. And the reason why I'm giving you flowers is because you know, when you're a new showing up and coming, and we're doing it organically, we're not buying no views, we're not buying, you know, we not selling nothing, payola going on. And when somebody like you is willing to take 3 hours out of their time and invest it in us to help build this show, that's genuine love. We know you actually care, and this is a part of what us as a culture need to start helping us do, because it didn't cost you nothing to do this. You know, it costed you time, but it's something that you can afford to give. So we thank you so much. I really hope you get on the next show. You are proof that we will have more women on the panel, because I do find it important for us to have equal representation. Yes. So you definitely made our day, and that's everybody on the panel. So
you pass.
Let them know where they can find you and how to reach out, and whatever you got going. Please push yourself, promote yourself real quick.
Okay, perfect. So I go by Ty from the Shy. You can find me on Instagram at Ty from the Shy, TY, the number 4, RMDACHI. I am on many different podcasts. I will always hop on. I love to talk. I was a communications major, so that's just what I do. I also have my own podcast that I am going to be revamping and bringing back up very soon. It's called Smeared Lipstick. It's right now available on all podcast platforms as well. So tune in for that. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for having me on here. Being the first woman, I feel honored myself.
Yes.
On here to speak. I had a really good time. Rock, you are extremely passionate. I love the banter between you and Rich. I'm always here for it. Thank you. Anytime I will happily join. It was great meeting you, Quality, you, Yogi, and King as well, even though he's no longer here. I hope you guys have a great night, and thank you again for having me.
All right.
For sure. Ty, please don't forget, when you do revamp it, you make sure you send that link to me ASAP. I'm gonna push it like it's my podcast.
I'm gonna subscribe,
yeah.
We all gonna subscribe. I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's what we do, and that's definitely something I do. And look, when you can support, I support people that it costs money to support. I'm damn sure gonna support you in ways that it don't even cost me. So that's for sure. Please send that information to me. I'll make sure I get it to my crew and promote it on my Instagram and everything like that, man. Again, I thank you. But we're gonna let you get some sleep, you know what I mean? So we out, y'all, man. Please make sure y'all like and subscribe and comment. We got people watching, but y'all gotta like, y'all gotta subscribe. It's free. The support is free.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Thank you, Ty. I didn't mean to offend you, Ty, if I did, baby.
Oh, you didn't offend me at all, Rich. Nobody.
Thank you.